Go. Yeah. We might be live. Who knows? Maybe. Sure. Welcome, one, all, everybody, and all you that are commenting in between the other people. It's the Sunday Night Hang. I'm Ben. You knew that, one, because my name is right there, and two, you're on my channel. And there's nobody new in the chat, so they all know. But, this is wow, just train. Like I said, I didn't need that extra off-air activity, apparently. Sunday Night Hang. I'm Ben. Welcome. Did that right. This guy to my, on screen it's to my right, but to my virtual left, young Mr. Alex Radford, which was cut off with the timer, I noticed. All it said was Alex Radford, but there was the young Mr. under there. Yes.
I always see it.
Rumors that possibly you are my illegitimate son. That could be true.
Then why do I call you uncle? That's a little weird now.
Well, I've been uncle to a few people. It seems like every boyfriend is Uncle something.
Oh no. Oh no.
Yeah, exactly. So let's see. Who do we got a bunch of people already. Ironically enough, first in the chat I see here is someone named Alex Radford. Got to be an imposter or a super fan. We've got Ryan X tuning in from the UK. Late night for Ryan. Awesome to see you. We've got Zach Thong in the house. Terry's Triple G's. Some guy named Ben Coombs. Yeah, that's got to be fake. Troll, ban him. Excuse me, Martin.
Here.
Martin's here, but not here. He was here. And then he went to bed. I get it. It's 2 a.m. in Austria, and sleep is good. We'll be talking about sleep or lack of sleep later in the show. We'll get to that. Rob212 is here. I hope your mom is doing okay, Rob. I know she's got some health issues, and I hope she's doing well. Mickey Stedelmeyer is here. Awesome. Using all the emojis. We've got Adam Finkel in the chat. Adam, you need to hit me up so I can do that setup on your guitar, buddy. I owe him a setup for some. I can't remember the details, but that's sure. Let's go with that. We've got Uneffin Believable asking, who is Axel Bradford? I love it. That could be the alternate personality, right?
That could be. I actually do kind of like that, though, because I'm kind of going to write that down, even though I hate the name Bradford with like a passion.
Sure.
But that's pretty good.
There we are. We've got Thomas Santiago. Lovely Sandra is here. Six-string Brian. Always a pleasure, my friend. Wow, chat just skipped right ahead. Terry Himes. Awesome. Blackjack Guitar Nut. That's right. Hit that like. Thank you. Eric C. in the house. Awesome. Robert Metzenberg. Rody's Jam Cave. Charles 75N. Whew. Did we mention Blackjack Guitar Nut? Well, you know what? He deserves to be mentioned twice. The reason that this show went right off the rails immediately, the reason for that would be absolute mayhem. It's his fault. We'll just blame him.
Yeah, it's always him. Yeah. Janice
Lala is here. We love seeing Janice here. Cool Tunes Made Easy. Bent Tom. Dan of New Jersey. Jose Benito Martinez Jr. Hola.
Oh.
It skipped ahead. I just want to make sure. Oh, yeah, Guitar Man 45. See, this is why I checked for Guitar Man 45.
There you go.
No other reason, apparently, by looking at the scrolling.
Dan of New Jersey?
Dan in New Jersey is here. The one, the only. Awesome. Yes.
Oh, Mayhem is guilty as charged.
He knows what we're talking about, and so does Alex, and that's fine because we're going to talk about that. Because I'm going to say both. Alex, we see a lot of YouTube coverage of these events that happen around the world over the course of the calendar. Most of them don't do these events right. We do these events right.
Yeah. I will say I did it a little wrong on the NAMM last year because I did take one single night off because I was not feeling well, and I think that was the beginning of the NAMM Thrax.
Hey, I think I was the only one that left the house before noon on the Sunday of NAMM, so don't worry about it. I've never seen Sunday at NAMM in 2 years. I don't know.
Okay. You've never been to Sunday. See, Sunday at NAMM is always the one. That's the one you don't have to care about going beginning, but always stay towards the end. For Sunday of NAMM.
There we are.
That's when they start giving out stuff. They start
Papa Blue.
Yeah, people don't want to keep their import stuff, especially the people coming
Sure.
from China and stuff. They don't want to import that back to China.
LPD Pedals. Good to see you, Lawrence. Congrats on the newly released LPD
Oh, I
87
know.
Deluxe in Tone
want it.
Tweed.
I want it, but money.
I know somebody's going to have his likely tomorrow. Knock on wood. That would be the birthday boy, Bent Tom. He got himself a birthday present of an LPD 87 Deluxe.
There we go.
That's
there
right.
We go. Little early birthday. Yeah, no, I'll probably be doing something like that for Christmas.
I like it.
Myself,
That's quite all right, Janice. That's quite all right. I appreciate all of your support. Janice, who leaves a comment on pretty much every video I release to the public.
Same here. Yep.
You know,
awesome.
Even if it's just a cheers, I love it. Just touching in, touch a base,
Janice is amazing.
Yeah. Awesome. So if you guys have any questions for Alex or myself, ask away. There's something I was going to touch on. See, and that just went right out the door there.
Gone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Brad Miller says Janine rocks. She might. Could be Janice, could be Janine.
Right.
He's just happy. That's okay, Brad.
Don't you hate
He might have been out in that
Fred?
Florida sun a little too much today.
Yeah. Right.
I can say that because he probably saw the sun today. I didn't see the sun today. It's been raining and or snowing for the better part of a week.
Oh, could I please have that?
Go for it.
We were this close to having our power shut off tomorrow. So
that's not good. That's not good.
No, in California we've been dealing with a thing called PSPS, or it's just called power safety power shut off.
Right.
So it's just when I'm in a very high fire area. So
yes, yeah. I was talking about that with a cousin of mine yesterday. While she was over, we had the news on in the background, and it said about possible evacuations of Orange County. So I immediately thought of, JJ, and I thought, doesn't California wildfires usually be spring into early summer and then kind of peter out for a bit? But they've been nonstop all 2020, just going right through.
Kind of the normal thing, at least for an area like me. You're kind of always ready.
Yeah, exactly.
So it kind of sucks that I have all of these on the walls and stuff like that, because it's like, okay, I grab you and we run.
Right, exactly.
Exactly.
Hey, there's Eddie Van Haskell in the house.
Hey.
Zach Thong says moving day is tomorrow. Well, once you get settled in, Zach, we will definitely get together for a cold snack and meet in 3 dimensions, as they say. No, we've already met in 3 dimensions. Well, we can meet again in 3 dimensions.
There you go.
Roy Batty's here.
Hey. Yeah. But yeah, no, you always got to go to the bottom floor of NAMM on the 4th day and stuff, because
sure. I spent Saturday afternoon down there, so that's about as crazy as I got. And at least for you, if you pick up something, shipping isn't a complete hassle where it is for me. So
yeah. Well, that's the thing. I don't even have to usually ship too much stuff. Like when I won the Vola, I just brought that with me. I just brought it with me on my flight and stuff. But they gave me a nice flight case and stuff like that because I want it. If you go to the bottom floor, they are selling guitars for $10. I'm not kidding.
Crazy.
Mark, not saying
Randall.
they're good.
Hello and welcome to Mark Randall. I don't recognize the name. That's awesome. That could just be me. What one guitar would you grab in case of a disaster? I would grab that one right there.
Grabbing this one, the Vola.
Nothing wrong with that.
Hey, it's also resale value. It's just, hey, this is the one that'll give me at least more back. So
sentimental value and resale, both right there.
There you go, yeah. I would also, it's more for sentimental and stuff like that. Hey, Brad, but yeah, for the money, hey, in case I wanted to trade up.
Somebody had mentioned, I saw in here, coolest piece of gear of 2020. I'm going to say it's literally a piece of gear, which is those new tone corners on the Epiphone headstocks.
Oh, okay.
Best piece of gear I've seen.
Okay. That's really hard for me because I've been a little bit all over the place. I'm all over the place from gear. I'm from guitar gear to also recording and mixing gear.
Sure.
So I'm all over the neural DSP stuff right now.
That's some hot stuff. Yeah. You know what? I'll agree on that. That's not my bag, but I hear it on a daily basis, basically. So that tells me it's hot.
No, I only got it because it was the Black Friday stuff.
Oh, where'd I see it? Roy's asking if you could turn up your mic a touch. Maybe.
Is that a little bit better?
There we are.
It's no problemo.
Hey, there's Milt.
I have a tendency to talk like over here, just straight ahead, and then my mic's up here.
I know I was going to mention. I saw the Feel button has arrived, and everyone should check out the Feel button. Put up a new video today, I believe, because I watched it an hour ago. So let's just say it came out, and I'm like right on the ball. He did a Steve Winwood cover. Well, as he had written, Steve Winwood, "Find My Way Home." I know the song originally as the Blind Faith song. And I've always loved that song. He does some serious the old finger picking there on the flat top while singing away.
Ooh, okay.
Oh, yeah. Hey, Chris Baseman tuning in from Texas. Love Texas. Never been, but I want to get there at some point.
It's where our boy Garguts is from.
That's right.
Yep.
Yes, we do have the Kramer handy as well, just in case we need that wiggle stick,
Oh, there you go. Yeah, I have the you can't see it, but I have the Steinberger, the little shorty down here.
Nice.
So
nice.
That's what I'll use. but yeah,
Craig
so
Tomlinson.
but other than that, I don't know. I don't really know some of the stuff because I haven't got my hands.
Nice Drive A. That was a good thing to see come out this year. I'm just going to say that.
That was a good one.
Yeah.
I just
the whole rebranding of Lawrence.
I feel like there's some good guitars that have come out this year, though.
Let me think.
You got the new Solar basses that have come out very recently. There's the original
Paramutant. Oh, crap. I was going to say any of the new Fender stuff, but I know Fender, when they bring out a new line, it's good because it's Fender and, like the Pro 2 series, they're great. Is it a game changer? No, because they already have great products at 10 different price points. So, okay, so Fender not shooting themselves in the foot for another year? Perfect. We like that. I don't know. Did Gibson really do much this year other than maybe a few finish choices over last year? Because the big deal was the Epiphone relaunch. EVH Frankie.
There was
Bent Tom, we'll give you that one. That was a good one. The EVH Frankie.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. There's that new Silverburst, the one that got stolen.
Oh, yeah, the Adam Jones.
I believe, but it's the dude from...
All I know, Alex, is you really feel old when people are bringing out this classic design of this, and it's a 70s pancake body design. I'm like, really? We're reissuing the Norlin era Gibsons now? Like, are we at that point? But that's what he liked, and that's what he had back in the day. And
a lot of people are into the New Orleans era too.
Affordability.
True.
That's the big thing, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. I owned one. They were all right. Weighed 11 pounds, 11 and a half pounds, and that hurt to hold up for more than a song and a half.
So you like light guitars then?
Oh, no. I prefer my Les Paul's non-weight relief because the way I see it, you should be in pain after playing a Les Paul, But the originals weren't all that heavy either, right? Because just the woods they were using was really good wood.
Yeah, back then, and then now you get to like some of the ones that are like now. Because I have a 2015 and stuff, and it's heavy. But I don't know about the weight relief. I haven't really gone inside of it too much because the last time I went inside of it, I accidentally pulled the wire from my boost. So, which not the biggest deal because I don't use the boost on the guitar really often.
Charles 75N says, I heard that guy that Lawrence had to work with on the Nice Drive A was kind of difficult. He was a menace from what I heard. I don't know how Lawrence put up with him. So yeah, you have a 2015. So that has that 15 decibel mini toggle.
Okay.
Right. Those. I remember that I was looking for a Les Paul that year when they were out, and I was at Long and McQuaid, the Gibson dealer, and they had these have it's a lead boost built right into your guitar, and I went, I play strictly rhythm in the band. All that's going to do is piss off the rest of the band if I hit that switch.
Right, yeah, no. And then I have that here actually in this Fender. It's a 1980s Fender Hartfield. That's why it's also a little bit different. Instead of having a like a three-way switch or anything, it has these 3 buttons, like rubber buttons on it and stuff that you click instead. So it goes and it's only one pickup. So it goes from single coil to humbucker to added boost or added distortion really. And it sounds kind of cool on that one, but it's, on that, it's, it was like you hit it and it was like, all right, if I wanted to play something over my loop pedal, really.
Right.
Just add a little solo to that. That's really what I was using it for.
And the key is you got to have headroom too, because if you're playing into like a high gain amp with no further headroom, all you're going to do is you could possibly end up with a volume cut because it's going to compress too much or just saturate further.
Yeah, exactly. And I was like, okay, whatever. But at first, when I thought I snapped that wire because I saw that it was a 9-volt battery connected to it, I was like, oh no, I accidentally made it so it's like, I can't play my guitar anymore. I was like, but then I realized, wait, my pickups are passive. This makes no sense. These are they're Duncan's Pearly Gates.
Right.
So I'm like, wait, these are passive. This makes no sense. I just undid the boost and just turned everything up. It works perfectly fine. Nice. I was like, oh, okay.
Shout out. We got Chris Bevan joining us. Good to see Chris in here. And Cushman NYC. Chris Baseman says he's trying to sell a couple of guitars so he can buy one of those 2020 Epiphone Explorer and a V. Yeah, they're both sweet.
See, I'm looking for an Explorer type or something like that. Like, I'm looking at Solar's E-types. I really want the Jensen by Solar, but...
I cannot hate on Roy Batty because, you know what? I also would like a Telly with a Floyd because I don't have a Telly with a Floyd.
Actually, I would.
That's where I'm at now. For any more Tellys, I want a baritone Telly. I want a 12-string Telly. A Telly with a Floyd. A Telly with a Bigsby.
See, that was the thing. I need to get a Telly sometime. Again, it's not going to be like the next guitar I get, but it's because I ended up trading a G&L ASAT Classic. It was a 1990s made in Fullerton and stuff.
Right.
For the Gibson. I just made that trade just because I love that guitar, but since I'm more of a metal guy and the really high gain stuff, I needed something with humbuckers.
Right.
But
exactly. Yeah, like a Telly for you, that is that studio tool for that definition, for that second track, what have you.
Yeah, it's just which everybody tone.
Yeah.
And stuff. Yeah. And it's like that was the thing. I go back and I listen to some of my old videos that I have on YouTube where I still had that guitar and I'm like, that had just a different thing to it, and I miss it. But it's not something I'm just looking to get to next.
We got a couple of more awesome dudes popping in here. We got Fruitcake Tony joining us, and Butt Cheeks himself, Brendan B. Squared. Hey. Nice. Awesome. And that's, yes, Brad Miller was mentioning Lawrence's 87 Deluxe as well. See, Brad came in a couple minutes late. That's okay, But he made up for it because he says you get your cool tone here, and he threw in Lawrence's.
He's been here for a while.
Yeah, but I don't think he was. Again, I think it's like Florida sun. I think it's cooked himself, sort of like we cook ourselves, but in a different way. Gary Davlin's here. Awesome. Nice. Everyone's saying hey to each other, which is good to see. And you know what? Somebody asked if I would pass the jar. Well, I'm going to take a sip of the jar because you know what? Why not? We took the time to get it out. I was planning on getting lit because you know what? I've never hung out with Alex sober. I've never even hung out with Alex and been tipsy. Usually I'm well on the way because we usually randomly at the Hilton. We're like, hey.
True. It's the Hilton or the Marriott. There we go.
Yep. I've yet to see you on the NAMM floor.
No, we hung out for I thought we hung out for a while because I hung out with you at Bootleggers.
Oh, see? Well, before there, I was hanging out at the bar at Friedman. So that's probably why I didn't
Yeah.
That's right.
See, I was with JJ a lot. That was the thing.
Right, and I was
with JJ a lot.
Yeah, and ironically enough, I just split with JJ and Aaron every day.
Oh yeah, that was we noticed that. We were like, where did Ben go? He just popped off.
I was everywhere.
But here, let me go grab a couple more beers real quick.
You go do that. All right, Lawrence is headed back to the grind. He's got to fill those orders. He hasn't had the opportunity to hire the tone elves yet, to put that stuff together. Hanging at the bar with Dave Friedman might be... Well, Dave wasn't actually tending bar, but Sammy Bowler was. So, Daniel Horsley made it. Good to see you, my man. You know who's missing? I haven't seen my sister in the chat. So, let's just throw her under the bus, because she's probably busy parenting or something. Jeff K. All right, Chris says, the head rush. All right, FR. I know that's full range, flat response, or flat response, full range. It could go the other way. And to create blue voodoo. Wow, that's a throwback, isn't it? Is that, let's see, is the shot. Ooh, okay. Head rush. It's great. Interesting. I like it. Unbelievable, really? I'm trying to behave. We got 46 people watching. I'm going to assume 24 thumbs ups. I'm just guessing. 24 thumbs ups. Jeff K, check your mail. Just saying, at some point. Alex is back. I've just been babbling.
Yep. My bad. Yep.
Well, you've been around the channel long enough. I just babble until... Oh, wow. We got 31 or 32 thumbs ups even. All right. We got 48 people watching because Lawrence had to bail.
Oh, wow.
He just came in to just propagate his products and stuff. And that's okay. Yeah. We fully allow that because he builds amazing stuff.
Did I see something about OnlyFans and Coombs?
Yeah.
Is Ben starting an OnlyFans?
Well, if we don't get enough in the ad revenue and the patrons dry up and the channel members,
start it up.
There's trouble.
I mean, you just see that. Oh, there he is. Yeah, he's watching that NXT right now.
Nice. And who else did I see jump in here? Randall Fisher jumped in here too. That's right. Yes, joke from last week that also made it onto one of my videos this week. Somebody commented about OnlyFans. I'm like, Jesus.
Well, it's because Jared Dines and Matt Heafy from Trivium just started up one.
Really? I really don't want to know what they're doing.
I don't know what they're doing either. I'm kind of confused.
Know what? If they're at their points in their careers at that level and they're looking at doing it, what do we have to do, Alex? And I really don't want to know. What are we sipping on? I'm sipping on Labatt's Blue and some Mountain Kool-Aid.
And I got a Modelo's Especial and just some Gatorade Zero.
Nice. Thank you, Sandra, for putting a link to Alex's channel. Everyone should definitely check out Alex's channel. He puts on all kinds of cool stuff on there.
Yeah, I'm all over the place.
Chris Baseman says he saw a link to a song they did. Okay. No, well, you know what? They might be dressed like the Red Hot Chili Peppers in the early years if it's OnlyFans when they're performing on there. I don't know. Hip Metal Works is tuning in from the left coast. Awesome.
Yeah, I don't know what they're doing and stuff because that's not why I'm going on OnlyFans.
No, I'm not looking for my favorite rock stars on there. What? Yeah, and we're demonetized, but that's okay. Rock the sock, exactly.
That's the other thing. I know other rock stars that do more provocative stuff on OnlyFans. Where I believe just Jared
I mentioned that on the show last week, and that kind of made my sister gag.
Oh, it's Guitarded.
Yes.
That's who Randall Fisher is. Oh.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I was going to say I'm old enough. I remember Randall when he was first Randall, then he went to Guitarded, and then back to Randall. Noise with Nami's here, rolling into a hot Atlanta. Hold my Jägermeister. Nice. Chris may or may not be doing a face palm emoji. I'm not sure. Or he could be waving to us, but I think, yeah, that's a face palm.
That's a face palm.
Yeah, that kind of sums up the channel right there. I don't know.
Yeah, that sums up my channel pretty much too.
That's fine.
You don't want to go back to those NAMM hangouts.
Hey, you really got to be there to do it. That's the funny part. PJ and the Beard, good to see you guys. Let's say you watch a Tone Talk, and Dave Friedman's giving out some NAMM story, and he's like, it's just not like that anymore at NAMM. NAMM's not the same as it used to be, blah, 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 blah. Well, not if you don't do it right. I don't know. Like, the way we were carrying on, sure, we didn't have maybe some of the company reps there along with us, but screw them. They're old, they're in bed. We'll just carry on. And
for me, it definitely hasn't been like how it has been for me in the past. Like the first year I went to NAMM, I worked at NAMM like for a day. So
there you go.
Like I wasn't able to do anything like that day, and like during that weekend I was also only 19 and stuff, so I wasn't partying, I wasn't going out to the bars and stuff like that. And then the year after that, I brought someone with me that was 21, so I just made them buy me alcohol.
Perfect. Laz is here, the Hungarian homie. Good to see you, man. Yeah, I was going to say, like, I know we did it.
Last year we partied it pretty good.
We did a good enough time that, to quote the great one and only Joey Diaz, every day on the way to and from NAMM, we had to stop off to pick up a package, either for us or we had to pick up a package for Alex. Or every day there was a package.
I mean, that's because
it could have been patch cables. I didn't ask JJ what was in the package.
No, I ended up also having a delivery also to me and AJ. I think halfway through the week too.
Yeah, there was a couple of you guys. Yeah, which is fine, Hell,
but
I had a package in hand with an hour after I landed.
Patch cables to hotels, though. It's the one thing.
Yes. Yeah. Less of a corporate affair. Yeah. And just stay away from the drum area, even if the beer is cheaper. Is the bar in the drum area, it's $1 cheaper for the beers there. Or at least it was the first year I went. And you know what? It's not worth saving $1.
I like going over the drum area because I go over to, I guess, a different part of the drum area, not to where all the kits are and stuff. I go to where all the marching stuff is.
The back doors there. They have a series of bars along there, kind of that one aisle where you can go out into the walkway area. I remember, there was an area, they didn't have it open this year. They didn't have those two doors open. It was literally bar and boom, outside right there.
Yeah, no, I think I know where you're talking about. I think they didn't have it open most of the time, but they did have it open at one point because I think I remember with me, AJ, and JJ, us three went out to just go smoke real quick, just to have a cigarette, and that's the doors we went out. It's just these two double doors. You're kind of like on upper level, kind of like parking garage when you go out a little bit, but then you just stay there in that little area. It was weird.
We got Rick Romanelli in here. Awesome to see Rick. We need a few more of those Telly Taco Tuesdays. I'm just saying. I know.
Telly Taco
I'm just
Tuesdays.
saying.
Taco Tuesday.
Roy with a great joke. Did you hear about the singer who locked his keys in the car? It took him an hour to get the drummer out.
Oh, poor kid.
Well, I get that because one's not too bright enough to open up the doors from the inside, and the other one doesn't have a clue to even open a door. Lead singers, right? Have you ever seen one load in a piece of gear? If you do, please get it on tape. Share it with the rest of us. Right. Rick just made a Telly Taco Tuesday.
Unless they are the guitar player too.
Yes, and Garguts is saying beers are so expensive, but so much fun mingling. Well, beers were what, $6-7, which translate to about $10 Canadian. Well, guess what? If you go to a hockey game, they're $20 Canadian. So
yeah, that's the thing. Like I'm so used to if you go to a baseball game or something like football,
they're probably still $10,
$15.
Well, there you go. Right, yeah. So it's still half price. And the way I see it is,
it's San Francisco too. So
I hit a grocery store and bought a 30-pack of beer. For the same price of what a 6 or a 12-pack costs in Canada. So I was already so far ahead of the game financially, in my opinion, because I was just like, screw it.
Well, AJ's coming. Well, AJ's coming from in Texas, where things are cheaper too, from here in California. So that's the thing, and especially like that's the problem. That was the first time him coming to California, and then where NAMM is and stuff. It's all right there at Disney and stuff. That's the true problem.
And Orange County.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like you go right outside of Disney and you go out to those neighborhoods and stuff like that, and you can find cheaper stuff easily and stuff, cheap food and stuff like that. But did you go out to dinner with Johnny and stuff?
I did.
Mancuda? Yeah,
we did.
Like that place, dude.
I forget what day it was, but we did.
Yeah, that little Italian place and stuff. That place is cheap.
Sure. Or hey, if you're really cheap. If you walk out of the convention center, rather than walking across the courtyard to the Hilton to even spend money, if you just hang a left and walk through that area, through the campus, we'll call it, out to the main drag where Disneyland is, there's a convenience store right there. Buy a six-pack.
Talking about the CVS, the Walgreens. I know what you're talking about, yeah.
Right. It's not like here in Canada where I actually have to find a beer store to buy beer. Oh, dear Lord,
that was the other thing he wasn't used to and stuff. He has to do the same thing in Texas.
Okay.
Like where he was like, wait, you guys just... Well, they have beer just in like normal gas stations, but we walk into Walgreens and there's an aisle of liquor.
Right. Yeah. Whereas here we're just starting to get beer and wines into the Walmarts, and it's weird. Walmart got the deal, certain convenience stores, but most of the grocery stores no, but some yes. And it's very weird.
Yeah, no, you go to Walgreens or something like
meal.
That here. Yeah. Just go to Walgreens or like that and stuff like that. Or really, you find a grocery store, that's going to be your best bet to get like the cheapest.
Yeah, like I never even thought. We were hitting a 7-Eleven on the way in every morning, the one that's a couple blocks down. We'd hit there, and I'd grab a slice of pizza every morning to eat while I was walking to the convention center.
So why not? It's like, what, $2?
That one of those...
It's not the bad. It's not like the worst.
What is it? The vitamin C drinks.
I need to get more onto like those kind of stuff, because I think that might also been my thing about NAMM, why I got so sick this year.
Yeah, I was buying those. I can't what they call C Alert or
either C Alert or
But yeah, it looks like a 5-hour energy drink, but it's like a case of oranges in it worth of vitamin C.
It's all vitamin C or airborne.
Dude, I took that and it was like, I don't know, it was almost like taking speed, because it was such...
Feel button, Costco is a good place to go.
Oh, yeah.
Emergency. Yeah.
Emergency, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, we don't have that in Canada. I took a shot of that. I was just like, let's do that. Of course, then I ate a couple edibles on the walk as well. So by the time I hit NAMM floor, I was just perfect.
Oh, yeah. See, the thing is I've been going around to different places and stuff like that in different states and stuff, like Oregon and Nevada, and so much cheaper there.
Right.
We have such a bad tax problem here.
Yeah.
Don't worry, I'm still here.
He's here. He's still here. Yes. And I'm just used to it because Canada is expensive. But that's okay. We don't mind. So a lot of sugar in the vitamins or the emergency. That explains a lot. Yeah. That, and I found at a lot of events, I just drank vodka and orange juice to keep that vitamin C right up there.
Oh, there you
go. Everyone else is drinking beers. I was like, nope. Give me a screwdriver.
There you go. Yeah, well, I don't drink beer too often. This is actually like one of the few times I've drinking beer quite much. But yeah, no, I'm a rum and Coke guy. Taking those.
Did we shout out Metalhead Hippie? If not, we should shout out.
Yeah, I don't think we did.
Another community cat. I was going to say, Metalhead Hippie. I'm going to throw myself in there because I've had enough, liquid ego, and yourself, Alex. As community based. That's what it is. Community based. Well, I don't know where I was going with that, but that's okay. Sea breeze. I don't know if I've ever had a sea breeze.
Sea breeze. Ooh.
Is that the one with
tell us what that is? Yeah.
Salt water? Something? I don't know.
Chris Baseman, spiced rum and real sugar Pepsi. That is a good, definite. Like, never go wrong with that.
Okay. I can't do the rum. Vodka and cranberry I can do. That's very festive this time of year. Sure.
See, that's kind of surprising. You can do vodka, but you can't do rum.
Well, see, because good vodka should be flavorless and tasteless.
Yep.
Rum is liquid sugar. One is potato, one is sugarcane.
A little bit, yeah.
That be it. That be why I just find rum way too sweet. Hell, whiskey I barely even drink mixed. I usually drink it straight. And we're talking rye whiskey. Sorry for those outside of Canada. When Canadians say whiskey, it's rye whiskey, as opposed to usually most Americans, when you say whiskey, it's bourbon.
No.
No? I found that.
Oh, whiskey, yeah. No, whiskey, it's more like, I guess it's more of a bourbon.
Yeah, it could be your Jack Daniels, your Jim Beam, your Johnny Walker, all that.
Yeah, here's my Jack Daniels right here.
Oh, nice. Nice, the honey. China Mike would be happy. China Mike was drinking what? The Jack Daniels single barrel on air today, and that was quite enjoyable.
See, this was my favorite whiskey right here, Steph. It's
Ooh.
It's
And it's a corn whiskey.
Yes.
See, that's Slipknot.
Yeah, it's because it's made in Iowa and stuff. So.
Well, that explains the corn, and you can't really get corn whiskey in Canada. Unless you get it, the special kind with the mason jar, which like I got there.
That was the thing. I specially ordered that offline and stuff like that. Nice. I don't really think we can find too much corn whiskey in California either.
Randall,
Terry's like, yes, rum, bad. Vodka, more like alcohol.
Randall likes his Crown Royal. I find that a little too rich for me. I like my Canadian Club, but my cousin Doug loves the Crown Royal because I think they make it in his town too. So.
Oh. See, I got Crown Royal for basically a Christmas gift last year. We do, instead of normal Christmas gifts, we do a white elephant.
Sure.
So, I ended up with a big old bottle of Crown Royal and Crown Royal glasses. So.
Nice.
But it's just expensive.
Bruce is 3 cubes, 2 fingers of Blanton's, and a splash of water.
What Roy just said. Yeah, since I only live an hour from Nevada, that's what I'll do too, Roy. Go over to Oregon and get Everclear.
Nice. Well, you go over to Oregon and get just about anything now.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy up there in Oregon and stuff like that. But that's the thing. It's the people up there are some of the nicest, chillest people.
Let's be honest. Whenever a state changes a law in that respect, nothing happens. Like you're going to see such a minor tick one way or the other, and it's an initial blip. Like, when things became legal here, all of a sudden you got all the middle-aged and older people that are going to try it that haven't done it since high school, and they're either going to like it or not and move on.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what happened here in California too, except then we have such a big younger population that's into it. Yeah, exactly. I compare. It was funny because I'm working at the vape shop that sold vaporizers for dry flower. The day it happened, everyone's like, "Oh, what's going to happen? What's going to happen?" And I swear, again, because it was all older people, 50 and over in age coming in to buy these things. It was like the day they legalized gay marriage. Everybody's coming out of the closet. Right. Yeah. No, yeah. When that kind of happened to us, it was just more of a tax issue. It's kind of like we're just like, damn, we're paying so much more. Because when it was just medical, it wasn't too bad. Maybe $10 tax. It's kind of like the same how it is in Oregon, and but now it's
whereas ours they just set it to they figure average street price, and then that's what the government charges.
Okay.
So that way,
like Sandra's little comment.
I don't know what the hell is it. Critical mass from P number 1, because I also have critical mass of P number 2. So. Yeah. Not only do you get the strain written on the bag, you get exactly what plant it came from. Mm-hmm. 20 a gram. Ooh, yeah, that's pretty normal in a lot of places of America. Scary as it is. Prices are much better in California than they used to be. I'll tell you that because.
And it depends on where you go. That's another thing. It depends on where you go. You go to maybe a smaller like place that's not really well known, or you go to like in San Francisco, there's just so many and stuff. San Francisco is just known for having so many and stuff. Where like in the town I live in right now, there's only one. They just approved maybe a second. Like,
yeah, Bent Tom is saying appreciate what you have living where you do, exactly, because he knows. Is he like the Feel Button bottom shelf in Oregon's $50? You can get what they call like day old bread, week old. If it's not sold in the first week, stuff that's normally 60, 70 a quarter gets sold for 100 for a full ounce.
Yep, and that's usually what I go for because it's like, hey, like.
Well, first of all, you're not getting a gram of water.
Yeah,
because it's already dried out that much more, and you can't get it too dry for me. So.
Yeah, and then if you're someone like me growing up in the area I do, you know how to rehydrate it.
If you want to. Yeah. That's a good deal, Bruce, for Kentucky. That's a really good deal.
Oh, wow. That's not... I didn't know Kentucky was legal.
They're not, I don't think. That's why I'm like, that's a really good deal.
Yeah, that's why I was confused. I was like, wait... That's a good deal then, especially.
Yeah. Adam Finkel,
wow.
you were right. Yes, because I actually haven't paid for it since I think early September, maybe.
Yep. We had this conversation.
We get a lot of gifted donations to the channel, we'll just say, from local growers and fans. And yeah, because one goes pretty much with the other. Again, forget about what those straight, narrow YouTube channels will tell you. Guess what? Weed and booze are part of rock and roll, folks. At least at some point. You may end up in recovery later in life, and being clean and sober, but generally everybody uses a certain amount in life. It's whether you go through a lifetime supply in 10 years or not.
Hey man, it's called moderation.
Exactly.
Like, don't get me wrong, you can sit there and have fun. This is the problem I have with the people I meet nowadays and stuff. Like, I have lost friends over this matter of like, you have a full bar in your house, but you won't come with me to the bar once a night, in a month. Okay, whatever. But
I love the guy who drinks the 26er of Jack Daniel's straight over the course of the evening. That's giving me a medical lesson on what I'm doing to my lungs, or I'm like, really?
Yeah,
you're destroying your liver.
Yeah, and it's like, okay, I like to have, I'll go out and maybe go have a fun night or a fun weekend, stuff like that. Or if I know I got the day off the next day, I'm gonna have fun. But if I got stuff to do the next day or something like that, I got stuff to do the next day. I'm not going out and partying.
Not yet, Randall Fisher. Not yet. Tennessee was working on it.
Yeah, but he also works for Amazon. So
yes, and
Amazon,
not that we get ever political here, but all this talk for one, I need to grab some. But I was going to say is, from what I heard, now that there's been, let's say, a change at the top of things in America, that you may see a national strategy to get more in line, because we've already made things legal. Mexico's looking at making it legal. So they're just like, you know what? Maybe we will. Because also federal tax dollars.
Right. And I agree with you and so much. And here's my thing is, I think it don't matter what side, really, because they both want to legalize it. Honestly, it's just, you just got the people out there that are just like, drugs are bad.
Well, you've got the pharmaceutical companies making so much money through healthcare that
exactly. But most of the people that really like it, I haven't heard from either. Like, if you want to go, you don't really hear from either side that they don't want to really ban it. Like, from at least from my side, I live in a house where I'm a very big person. I'm a liberal person, and then my family is very conservative. But I'm very moderate and stuff because but we sit here and look at these things, and I'm just like, no. When it comes to weed, now we all agreed weed should be just whatever.
Yeah,
do your thing.
Kirk Arsley. I'm like, what I missed?
As long as you're not bothering other people.
Much.
Like,
what am I doing here? I'm just turning off the cam for a sec. I'm here.
Drugs are bad. Do good ones. Okay,
that's right.
That's right, Sandra.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes, Roy.
Mr.
Those
Mackey.
4 are not good.
Lots of my friends' dad from it's those kind of stuff. Never do any of that kind of stuff, and never be accidentally drugged with oxy. That's never fun.
Nope. I've stayed away from the oxy just because I'm afraid I'll like it if I ever try it.
The only reason why I've ever had it is just because of literally due to medical. Like I was having surgery and stuff, and it was right before it was because I was having all of my wisdom teeth taken out. And not the biggest surgery, but just the wisdom teeth. But it was like I was just in a bunch of pain with my family, and I don't know why, but my family just had it and stuff because of my grandma. And my dad just says, "Oh, take 2 of these," because he thought it was something else. He thought it was just like ibuprofen or something, and so I ended up taking 2 of those, and that was not a fun night.
No, because you should have taken probably half of one.
Yeah, exactly. I did not have a fun night that night.
That's how amphetamines started with me on occasion. Not the meth. I never did the meth. But actual, like the same shit Lemmy was doing for years and years, like just true pharmaceutical. And I remember I was at a gig before we'd even started the night. We had played the night before. I hadn't slept much. I was dragging ass. And I just said, I knew some... what do they call it? Focus powder was floating around at the area that we were performing. And I was like, there's a time and a place, and this would be the time and the place. And there wasn't any of that around. And then, hey, Joe Hervey, Kid Shred himself.
Joe!
And so I walked up to my guitar player said, talk to the bass player. The bass player handed me a little thing. I took the little thing. The guitar player, being Richie's like, did you talk to Larry? Screw it, we'll use names. And I said, yeah. And he goes, please tell me you only took half. I said, no, I took all of it. And he goes, oh, man.
Have fun.
For 12 hours.
Yeah,
who was very much a mama bear to all of us because she was the female singer for the classic rock band. And she's like, Benjamin. See, that's how you know you're in trouble, when she uses the full name.
Yeah.
She's like, you were hanging with Larry. Maybe. Please tell me you only took half. No, I took a full. And she's off.
I'm out. Not dealing with this.
Yeah, that became an interesting summer, gigging 2-3 nights a week on no sleep. And I was really upset when that guy got pinched that was in the area supplying stuff. And because then it's like, do you want this? I'm like, no, that's meth. We don't touch that.
Right. Yeah. No, that was the thing. I was just like, that night I was just, because I'd never done anything like that. I don't
recommend
myself.
It to anyone.
Yeah.
Oh God. No.
Yeah. Well, I had never done anything. Like all I've done is smoked weed or smoked cigarettes, and like at that point I was just really getting into drinking and stuff. Like I wasn't drinking. Like I just started really drinking. I'd maybe gotten drunk a couple times by that point. And I was like, whoa, this is a different thing. I don't like this at all. And I just like freaked out. Like, I was like, no, I don't like this.
2 things. One, Bruce is apparently like me. He's got the mixed up body chemistry. Sativa is good for energy. See, that puts most people on the couch drooling. But that's my energy stuff. I'm backwards. Like, most people take an indica to be hyper. That lays me out.
What?
I'm pretty sure.
That makes no sense. No, it should be the other way around. It should be sativa for energy, indica's the couch lock.
All right. Well, see there. I'm still the opposite, though.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Because that's how it should be. It should be, you should be smoking.
This is why I always just go for hybrid, Alex.
Yeah. Yeah. See, hybrid's always just a good one. Where sativa is the one you want for energy and euphoria and stuff like that.
Here we are. Okay. And Tom's agreeing with you.
Yep.
See, we don't do these things. We got a guitar question. Nice. Let's go with a telly. Sure.
Oh man,
How about a humbucker telly with coil tap? That really is probably my favorite.
I would have to go with some sort of Gibson type, but I kind of like something a little different. I would want something maybe like single coil in the neck and humbucker in the bridge. And so I love a single coil neck.
Joe, I have not tried one of these. I'm curious though. Although it's probably about 300 here for the same guitar. I'd like to try that. Okay, Roy's never had stuff that's made him tired, but he's ADHD. That's fine. Metalhead Hippie's away from the keyboard, so don't be tagging Metalhead Hippie, asking him questions for the next couple of minutes. He's busy. That's right. Meth does make you decide to take the stove apart at 3 a.m. That's true. I just remember after,
I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know.
That one time I took that full pill, I know I went through a quarter ounce of weed trying to fall asleep that night.
Ugh.
I fell asleep at about 9 a.m. for about an hour and a half, and I got up after an hour and a half, and I felt great for the whole day.
Yeah, I just don't.
Then it was downhill the next time that happened, and I
just don't take anything from anyone unless it's weed.
I don't recommend it. It was a time and a place, and it was literally before shows, and it was a rocket ride. It was like you're in a high horsepower car, and your foot just slipped, and you hit the gas a little too hard. You tried to pull a Santana.
You just tried to pull a Santana.
Dude, it was... You ever go to a party where they got one of those bongs with the big bowls that's for like 3 people? You know, everyone kind of takes a hit off the bowl. Usually a female institutes it.
I understand what you're saying. Yes, but it's just I use that single bowl as a normal bowl.
That was the problem. They packed it for 4 people and they handed it to me, and it was single pull. I'm like, next, and they're like, what? I'm like, yeah, do it again. You know, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm used to is doing, and then I add tobacco to it, so it's not any better.
I do mix in a bit of a tobacco on occasion too. Yeah. So does JJ. Aaron was trying to give me shit for smoking cigarettes during NAMM because there's some tobacco mixed in, and I said, no, Aaron, I do partake on very minute amounts of tobacco. I, however, do not smoke cigarettes. There's a difference.
Right. Yeah, no, there's a...
And you know why? It's actually a chemical thing because tobacco burns at about approximately 100 degrees cooler than herb. And that's why you don't get the coughing effect as much because you're bringing down that burn point slightly. Just saying.
Never thought about it that way.
Well, you know, I'd like to just drop that knowledge. You know, I need that the more you know being, we lost Alex for now. All right. He might be back. Let's hope he is. Adding the batch, that's an Ontario thing. There we go, Adam. Awesome. And Adam, you didn't get back to me about setting up your guitar. Hit me up. See, I'm waiting for the message on here. Unless you're watching on your phone, then wait till we're done. There, Alex is apparently back. There he is. We don't know what happened. That's okay.
My StreamYard just randomly kicked me out and it was just like, nope, check your internet. And I'm like, I look down, I'm like, my internet's fine. Nothing changed. That was really weird.
Yes, Bruce, very true. Guitars that cost $100 nowadays blow away guitars that cost $300 to $400 back in the 80s. True. Fully agree.
Yep. I mean, this guitar, $150 used at Guitar Center.
Perfect.
Ibanez RG, but don't go get a $120, $150 guitar off of Amazon. Don't get one of those. Go get something.
It's like somebody asked me that. Are you going to buy a Glary? I was like, you know what? If Glary sent me a guitar, sure. You know, I'd review it, I'd demo it, whatever. But
at least Glary's got some reputation. You know what I mean?
But you know, I've got I've got vintage guitars worth 5 figures. I'm not buying a fucking Glary Telly. I'd never play it.
Yeah, unless you wanted, that's the thing. It's like the only reason why I would buy, I wanted to buy a Glary or something like that, or the one time I was supposed to have a Glary sent to me, I was going to give it to my niece, or I wanted to mod it.
Sure. Yeah.
I haven't modded much, so.
And I could say, even if the channel was 4 times the size, let's say you had about 10K where you're bringing in enough ad revenue that I could throw away some money on a Glary just for the shits and giggles of it to mod whatever, fine. But I'm not there yet. So, no, not yet. There we go. All right, unbelievable. You're trying to derail the conversation. Fine. Ever try a PRS MT15? I don't know what that is. That a Mark Tremonti?
That's the Mark Tremonti 15-watt amplifier.
Ah, thank you,
yes,
Alex.
I have.
There we go.
I loved it. That was one of, so I have the Boss Katana Artist and stuff right now. It's just because the MT15 is $600, and I would have to buy. I was gonna get the Harley Benton 2x12 just because it's got the vintage 30s in it. Make it simple, but that's like another $200. That's already an $800 rig. This my Boss Katana was $600-$700, and just ended up doing payment plans on the whole thing, so it was a lot easier to pay off. And
sure,
now I'm doing line in, and I have a lot more leeway with doing stuff for like streams and stuff like that. It's a little bit more fun with this, and then I got all the effects, honestly. Like,
quite all right, Joe. Bruce. It's got a Squire at the pawn shop. It's it's a bullet. It's $30.
Nice.
What I would say, Bruce, is the last year or two, Fender on the Bullet Strat, which is their bottom of the line Strat, they started making them strictly hardtails. Why? Because the trim system sucked balls. You could not keep the guitar in tune. However, if it's a hardtail, dude, pick it up, because it's really hard to find a hardtail Strat otherwise. And hardtail Strats, they are unique. They're kind of their own thing. So definitely check them out. I've got a soft spot for hardtail Strats.
Yeah, it's funny. Unbelievable. It said MT15 with his Harley Benton 2x12, and it's loud.
No doubt. That'd be a nice little combo. Oh, it is a hardtail. Sweet. Yeah, pick it up, Bruce. For $30. Do it.
Super funny. Oh.
All right. What have we got here? Apparently Joe's headed out. No, he's at home. He's gonna chain smoke for a while. That's fine. Gonna eat dinner soon. Sure. Late dinner. That's fine. I think I'll noodle around on the Glary. Cool. Then go to bed. That's cool.
Sounds like normal thing for Joe.
Yeah, Joe's being Joe.
Yeah.
Roy wants a Friedman. I want a JJ Jr. Bad.
Man.
All right, Joe's nice. I'm hanging, bro. See, I knew Joe. You know what? I need to crack a second beer. Jesus.
Second? I'm already on my third.
Yeah, but I've been dipping into the Mountain Kool-Aid too. So.
Yeah. I don't have any. I gotta wait until I get that later.
I don't know exactly what the strength of it is, but it's enough. We'll just call it enough. So there we go.
You see, we have someone by my house that makes it. You want to know their name though? Because
yes.
Their name's not their name. Their name's Treehouse.
Nice.
So
I'm just picturing a treehouse still.
No.
Hey, Pathalco. That's right. Yeah. Tonight's Sunday Night Hang is imbibed by Labatt's Blue. The hell do they make this? Toronto? Do you still make that in the west end of Toronto, up by the airport? I think they do.
Modelo Especial for me.
London, Creston, Edmonton, Montreal, Halifax, St. John's. Yes, they're not making... Oh, no, that's a Molson brewery. That's right. Wait, do they have London? Did I mention London? Yeah, London was the original brewery, I think, for John Labatt's.
It's nice that your beer says all that. Mine just says brewed in Mexico.
That's it. That's all you need to know. That's all it.
So you get that probably on Corona, Modelo.
Exactly. Charles75N asks, has Alex tried the metal pedal? I suppose it'd be metal pedal. You demoed the other day. What was that? That was
the Extreme Metal, your Moto mod.
That was the Mod Tone Extreme Metal, I think.
No, I haven't tried that exact one and stuff, but what I have is the Digitech Hardwire Metal Distortion.
Nice.
Little dusty, but it's literally the same thing. You got level, the high-low double knob, and the mid.
If it ain't dusty, you're not using it.
And gain. I actually do use it. It's just I'm not cleaning my pedals.
Exactly. Bruce, you got to pick that up, dude. I don't know how much liquid income you have for the gear acquisition coming in, but there we go. That's right. Adam's been messaging me on the old telephone since I called him out on that. Well, that sucks, dude. Okay.
Oh, you got that Monotone Extreme Metal you got from Terry?
Without reading the whole message there, Adam. All I'll say is you deal with what you need to. And, I'm around. Janice is headed out. That's right. It's 1 minute before 9. Enjoy your TV show. Apparently Sandra doesn't get hookers on Tuesdays. So that tells me she's getting hookers 6 days of the week. I'm just saying. It's just the head. That's cool. Good question. Mark Randall asks, Ben, did you come across any Univox in Canada, the glary of the 70s? Oh, let me just, get up. How about an 80s Univox?
There you go.
And what do you do with all the stickers that you get off your bananas? You put your banana stickers on your guitar.
There you go.
Yeah, this is a Univox something. I don't know. I covered it up on the front. I think it just said Univox. I don't even think it had a model listed on it. Bolt-on,
taking all the stickers
body,
off my
wicked
guitar.
offset. I got to clean the output jack of this so I can play it some more.
Yeah, I gotta do a lot to that guitar to play it.
Pretty sure I paid $40 for this in the mid-90s.
Not bad.
Had Nirvana carved into the fretboard. And I mean carved in. Because Kurt Cobain played a Univox, briefly. So somebody carved Nirvana and a happy face. So Rich Shanahan filled it in with a wood filler. You can still see it kind of ghosted in. And then
see, it would look good ghosted in, but
yeah, I don't know. You can't quite make out the lettering.
It.
Yeah, it's all written right under the fret markers. I can't see. He did a good job. But that's a unique guitar because it's got that single coil humbucker thing going on. I don't know. Yes, Terry, I did get that mod tone from you. I got a few mod tones from you. I'm supposed to give one of them away, and that was a year ago, and I still haven't got around to it. I might do that at some point. I need shipping money. That's what I got to do. Get some of that shipping money, and we'll give the pedal away.
Yeah. That's a big problem is shipping money. Like, if you want to go send stuff out, you always give, yeah.
Well, if a Canadian won one of my contests just once, shipping would be half as much.
Yeah, but no, I understand because I have a Canadian that won a contest from me, and I still haven't sent it to them, and I feel bad. I still have your stuff.
Okay, so Stranger's like, that's not what I meant. Okay, fine. And I was wondering because Michael, his first appearance in the chat, he's backing Sandra up, so that's okay.
Ugh. No, yeah.
Imagine that. Ben has a guitar with a scratchy output jack or volume pot. That one's got both.
Yeah. No, it's Zach. I still owe stuff to.
Yeah.
I still owe Zach a pedal. I still have it. It's right here. I still have it. I haven't sent it. That's like almost a year old now, too.
Brad Miller says shipping to me is crazy. Brad would know. Brad's shipped a few items up here.
That's the thing. I have to ship something to Zach, which is in Canada, and it was a lot easier. I didn't have to pay for the shipping for everyone else, but it's harder for me to get around to shipping stuff since I don't drive right now.
Well, you see, it was, and of course, I've had just enough of the cold snacks to think, hey, Alex, ship it to me. I can just drive it over to him. He's living in my town now. But then still costs the same.
It's still the same.
Like, it'd be different if I'd be like, oh, you're shipping me something, include it with that or something.
Right, yeah. I mean,
rat tail for the output jack. Yes, that's that guitar is pretty much at the rat tail stage. I got one of these little inserts. You put contact cleaner on the insert. I got it from Dave's World of Fun Stuff, Dave. I only got one of them though, and I don't know where he got them, so I haven't used it yet because I got to choose which guitar I want to use it on. And it's either that one or the old Ernie Ball there. It needs some, or maybe it's the Wolfgang. One of them's got a dirty output jack.
Yeah, I got to put some deoxit into the Vola from when I shattered a water pipe onto it.
See, you just mentioned deoxit. That's right. I stopped by the Hossa booth, and they had a whole bunch of deoxit wipes. And I just grabbed a handful of those because they look like they were worth money.
Deoxit.
They look like wet wipes, but they're deoxit wet wipes, I think.
Wow. So is that more for like guitar polishing?
Fucked if I know.
That's like why I'm confused, because usually usually deoxit is like kind of like a spray can that you spray into your pots to clean them out. So,
which, you know, that lasts a long time, because I've seen in the chats on various channels people talk about Radio Shack. I still have a can of Radio Shack contact cleaner. So
there you go. Yeah, I bet you that's.
I'm old.
Great. Oh no, we had Radio Shack in my town for a long time. I miss Radio Shack. Oh, Quentin!
Apparently, Emmett likes your channel. Doesn't like my channel. Likes your channel.
Oh, okay.
Hey, Brian Spalding. Good to see you.
We said hi to Emmett a lot on my channel when Quentin came on as guest.
Yeah, now I'm curious to see if those were, in fact, deoxit wipes. I got to find one of those little packages, and you know what? That's an excuse to make a video.
There you go. Ooh, there you go. Got a nice little...
Deoxit makes some fret wipes that are great. Maybe that's what it is, fret wipes. I don't know. I just saw them, and I said, are these free for anybody? And Dylan said yes, and Aaron distracted him, and I scooped, enough to cover part of my flight fare.
Oh, yeah.
Because let's be honest, we know I'm the only guy that can cover the cost of his flight to NAMM just in the amount of guitar picks I grab.
No, man, dude. I still have so many Vola picks from when I won the Vola.
Sure. Speaking of which, there's going to be a video out this week on these new to me, Master 8. There's a series of guitar picks made in Japan that we came across in the basement of NAMM. Rob from Tesi, they're available at tesiswitch.com. Use coupon code Canucks, save 15%, blah, blah, blah. They're so far so good. I got some 1 mil picks because that's what I used to use back in the day. So getting back to that. Canadian shipping is horrendous, yes.
Brian
Spalding, yes, from the Bay Area.
So I used to be in the Bay Area. I used to be in Daly City. Right there, I would walk down my street and I'd be on Mission Street of San Francisco and stuff. So I used to live basically in San Francisco. I used to live in the row houses. Like, you go right on if you're taking, what is that? The major highway when you're about to hit 1 to go to Pacifica. I think it's 650 in California. But it's right there. If you're hitting that right there, I'm just in the row houses of houses that looks like from like they shot the Hulk movie and stuff in my the neighborhoodish area and stuff.
They shot a Hulk movie in my hometown too.
Yeah, is the
there's a lot of Hulk movies.
Yeah, no, the one one of the newer from Marvel and stuff. The first Incredible Hulk that had that one guy, not the new Mark Ruffalo. I'm trying to think. Yeah, so possibly the Ed Norton one.
Yes. Yeah, the Ed Norton one would have been shot there because what was it? Ed Dana. I think was that no? The second one was shot here.
Yeah.
Because a bunch of the big fight scene that's downtown New York is actually Yonge Street in Toronto. Because you can tell because Sam the Wrecker Man. What the fuck? Canadian Institute. That's like having a fucking Tim Hortons right there in the background.
Yeah, they were using it as like the South American, the row houses or the slums kind of thing. But it's just the row houses, Daly City. It's just. That's just what they look like. We're just houses upon houses just stacked on top of each other. But then I also lived in Santa Rosa up in Roanoke Park. I'm saying also, was it the big lair, the evil lair of the evil guy in the one Hulk movie? Yeah, it's one of our aircraft hangars at the corner of our military base because they were shooting on our military base for a few days. Yeah.
Yeah, because you live in a town of 15,000 people in small town Ontario, and a casting call in the newspaper. Hey, you want to be an extra? And I'm like, no.
There's a big Christmas movie that's shot in my whole hometown. It's my whole town is in like the whole movie, but it's just one of those big, kind of like not like the mainstream. Not like Home Alone or something like that. But it's like one of those little offshoot Christmas movies. But a lot of people know it. It's really weird. But but I lived in San Francisco, then Santa Rosa. And now I live up about an hour from Sacramento, in between Sacramento and Reno.
See, I didn't know that. So I'm just going to leave it in the description, Bay Area rocker, because that's what I know you as. And
you can keep it as that because I'm only a couple hours from there.
Well, that's fine. Exactly. Like anyone that's outside of Canada, I'm from Toronto. It's 100 miles away. Sure. Hey, yeah. Mad Raj, RJ the Mad One is here. Brad, Brad, San Francisco, that town is rather, for lack of any kind of filtration, the town's fucked in many ways.
And then here's the thing, just most places in California, they don't want you smoking in their places at all.
Yeah.
Like, at all. It doesn't matter what it is. Like, you go anywhere, most places, unless you know the person, like, I cannot find a place that's non-smoking. Like, my old apartment, they were a non-smoking property. Like, you would have to go to the street to smoke a cigarette.
Yeah, fuck that.
Yeah, so, But if you find the right person and you have your own house and your own place, and the people don't care.
There you go. Unbelievable says was ready to leave the Bay Area as soon as I moved there.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. It's good for a visiting thing. Great for going to see the things.
That's same as Toronto. Like, why would I pay 4 times as much rent to live in Toronto? When I can take 2 hours to drive into the city. I did see Mad Raj was saying he lives in Oroville.
Oh, I'm only like 30 minutes from you.
Nice.
RJ, do you have me on Facebook? If you have me on Facebook, you'll know where I live.
There we go. And that exactly, Ben Tom. Exactly.
I mean, it's not. Here's the other thing. No one can ever find me or anything because this isn't my last name, guys. Sorry. So
there we go.
I live in a little town called Grass Valley. Like, which is, it's about like 30, 40 minutes from Oroville. But you wonder why our weed's really good. I live in a place called Grass Valley.
Nice. And I live 20 minutes from an Indian reservation. So guess what?
There you go.
It's not just cheap gas and cigarettes anymore.
Oh, God. Yeah, I bet Long Island is mad expensive. Oh, yeah. Visiting New York, mad expensive.
Yeah, exactly. Awesome. Brian Spaulding's going to call Laz soon. That's fine. We like that. That's communication and community and all that.
Mm-hmm.
So, yes, keep those questions, comments coming. It spurs us into conversation. And
oh, yeah. But you're...
apparently, Roy Batty was born in Seattle.
Though. But we want to bring up more NAMM stuff because I know that's like one of the biggest things we wanted to talk about.
Well, yeah, because, we got to meet at NAMM. One of the first time I caught you live, you were playing that Vola you won at NAMM, and I said, that guitar looks familiar.
Right.
I think I played that guitar at NAMM.
And that's the thing. I was really surprised. That's the funny thing is I took a picture, like when I won that guitar. So if I took, like they had a thing where you take a picture of one of their guitars you like and stuff. Then you post them and tag them, and then you just go show one of the reps like, oh, I tagged you in your thing and stuff like that. And they're like, all right, here's a little thing. This is your number and stuff. Be here on Saturday at this time when Robert Baker is doing his clinic, and he'll give out the guitar and stuff. And I'm like, okay, like I was gonna be here anyway. Like it's Robert Baker. His guitar clinics and his little live things are really good all the time.
And we don't look alike at all. No, the Vola reps did not hand me Robert's lunch when they were handing out lunch to everybody at NAMM. He's like, here you go, here's your lunch. I'm like, oh, score.
It's cool, a score.
And then Robert's
wait, that's Robert's.
Hey, homie, I think that's mine. As passive as Robert is.
That's like, no offense, you got a little bit more of the grayer going on up top, where he's got like the gingerish brown more going.
Yes. Oh, well, I always tell Robert every time I see him, I'm like, this is you in 10 years.
Oh,
Robert can turn to you and go, this is you in 10 years, Alex.
I know. Me and AJ were talking. He's like, no, I'm me now. AJ is him now, and Ben's us in 20 years.
That's right. If you do things right and survive, there we go. Favorite booth at NAMM. and we're not allowed to count the bar at the Friedman booth. Can we still count the Friedman booth? Because that's where all the cool kids hang out.
That is where we hung out a lot.
Everybody ends up there at one time or another.
That's the thing. If I ever saw you at the NAMM floor, that's where I saw you. Because we sat there and talked to someone that you've had on your channel as a guest.
Sammy Bowler?
Yeah. And stuff. Me, you, and him were all sitting there talking. You introduced me to him.
Right. I vaguely remember that. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Really dark
shooting the breeze,
hair.
probably telling lies. You walk up and I'm like, young Mr. Radford.
Exactly. That was exactly it. And I was like, oh, hey, yeah, JJ and AJ's right over there. Stuff. I'm over here to hang out with you guys. What up? What up?
Eddie Van Haskell says the ginger is because he's a heavy smoker. It's nicotine. Nice. Brad Miller doesn't do Facebook. I'm just throwing that out there. I thought Brad Miller was on Facebook. Apparently not now. That's fine. Bowls or blunts if you kids roll up in the house only. No, I prefer full on, about the size of my pinky. That does the trick for an hour or so. Apparently Eddie Van Haskell buys his mushrooms from a leprechaun. Those are the best ones.
Dude. Hook me up.
Let's see here.
But yeah, no, we were talking about favorite booth. So other than Friedman, because we know Friedman's an amazing booth.
The EVH area of that room, it's EVH, Gretsch, Jackson, and Charvel all in one room.
Okay, yeah.
That's kind of a cool place to hang out because you have all four in one room. And let's be honest, with Gretsch, I got to meet both Tim Armstrong and Brian Setzer. And that's two vast different sounds.
Yeah.
But they both have signature Gretches out.
At the Jackson booth, the amount of people I've met at that Jackson booth, because that's where I've met Mick Thompson and Corey of Trivium and guy from Arch Enemy, Jeff Loomis. But then I've also met so many other people and stuff. But then also it's like just that corridor that's right there and stuff. It's that hallway right there on that far right side on those two top floors.
You know what? That area, that common area, because on one side of the room, or one side you have Jackson, Charvel, and all that. Across the way is the actual Fender room. But and then
I thought, but then they go upstairs, and that's where all the Fender guitars were, right?
No, that is upstairs because EVH is right across that little hallway from Fender.
Oh yes. And that was the problem
right around the corner.
Past 2 years.
Yeah, and right around the corner from the EVH side is your autograph area where like Satchel always does autograph signings.
Yeah, exactly.
And you have that whole outdoor deck area.
Yeah.
Right outside the doors right there too. So it's great because you can go out and grab a smoke or a vape only 30 feet away.
Did you ever get stopped actually when you went out there?
No.
Really? They actually came out to multiple... they stopped actually having the smokes on the balcony up there for some reason. At some point.
Long show tonight. We'll see, Joe. We'll see. Boner Jams. Evening, my brother, the Dark Lord of the Spliff. That's me. Darth Vapor. Great show. Have a great week and a safe week. You too, Boner Jams. Love you, brother. And I will say, the Boner Jams t-shirt is one of my favorites. It's that extra soft cotton that feels like it's like 10 years old right out of the box.
Ooh.
Okay. See, Brad Miller now. See, I scrolled back. He says, I have Messenger. See, that's what was throwing me off because I've talked to Brad in Messenger.
Yeah, you can have Messenger, but not like... It's like you have Facebook, but you don't use it. He's not like sitting there posting stuff on Facebook. But
right.
No, yeah.
But yeah, no, I'm gonna have a second sip because why not?
Yeah, no, I wish I was wearing it, but I'm not wearing my... I just got one of my new shirts. Oh, but I do have this, though.
Actually, the only area I've got hassled kind of for vaping, Alex, was same floor, the third floor. If you got Fender at the one end, you got Gibson at the other. Yeah. Outside the Gibson area, there's that more narrow balcony area.
Yeah.
There, they gave us a bit of a hassle, and then
I think that might have been where it was. That might have been where it was over there.
I liked sneaking out there. We went to that Gibson party on the Wednesday night. Did you go to the Gibson party?
No, I didn't get invited.
Okay.
No, well, I wasn't there when you were hanging out with them getting all the passes. I think I was with...
If you were with me, I would have got 6 instead of 4.
I know, but I didn't know.
Yeah, well, who knew I had enough liquid courage in me to just pull off, hey, I need. Who am I? I need. But we went out there, and it was crazy because since it was the night before NAMM, like, we're hanging out there, and the guy's like, yeah, I used to be the vice president of Warner Music. I'm like, no shit. Like, suits. The suits were out there.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, holy crap. And then, of course, then we did the Gibson party, and then we didn't want it to end. So that's when we went down to the Hilton, and then you come walking around the corner with AJ, and you're like, hey, I'm like, oh, yeah. And that was crazy.
Was that that first night on Wednesday?
That was that first night. And there was what? Aaron, JJ, me, you, AJ, China Mike,
China Guitar Epic, Sean and his wife. Carl Golden was there. Mike Portnoy was in the background.
Mike Portnoy was there. Yeah. Well, it was funny because when you and AJ came around the area, which is the escalator area to the bar area,
we had no idea. Me and him were like, that was the first night me and AJ maybe met 2 hours ago, maybe an hour ago. And stuff. He'd just shown up to the hotel, and I was like, all right, we're going to the Hilton just because I know this is where the party spot, and I still need to go get my pass, so we're going.
Right. And yeah, you come around the corner, and I remember because I was talking with Carl, and you're like, Ben, that's fun, blah, blah, blah. We're all hugs, and we're hugging it out.
I remember just going up to the bar and stuff with AJ, and I was just ordering, like, me and AJ were just ordering drink, trying to get like a hold of the bartender. Then all of a sudden, me and him feel a hand on each of our shoulders, and it's JJ saying, it's Garguts and Alex and stuff like that. And all of a sudden, we turn around, and it's all of you guys, and we're just like, whoa.
Ooh, good question. Boner James asked, did you get to meet Ole Herbert when you saw Corey from Trivium? Oh, excuse me.
I wonder how Boner Jams knew.
Nice.
I did. I met Ole before he passed away, yes. I met Ole before he passed away, and Ole before, it was a few months or about a year before he passed away. And then I met Vinnie Paul 3 months before he passed away.
Nice.
Well, yeah, that's the reason why I keep this one over here and stuff, so everyone sees this one, and then my Vinnie Paul one's in eyesight of mine, just because.
Beautiful.
It's mine. It's mine.
Yes, unbelievable. Actually, you know what? We had the super chat. Unfucking believable. Ben and Axel trading NAMM stories. Exactly. Yeah, that's what I'll do. Is next time I see you at NAMM, I'll go Axel,
and I'm gonna have to be like. I'm going to have to listen for that now. Oh, God.
Hey, that's me. RJ asks,
might have to start using that,
will they ever have another winter NAMM? I think they will in 2022.
Yeah, 2022, yeah, but...
And I think they'll go over the top because it'll be we're back, and it's going to get crazy.
Right. But yes, Joe, I also did get a Mick Thompson one, but I'm not taking that one down. That one's also in front of me. That's the one, if everyone knows my profile picture, I think, is on YouTube, is me and Mick Thompson.
Who else did you meet? Paul Gilbert or Eric Johnson? I got to meet Paul Gilbert and had a conversation with Paul.
Yeah, I just got to hang out with Paul Gilbert with Johnny and stuff. We were hanging out at the Ibanez booth.
Nice. I went to the Ibanez booth. He had just wrapped up a clinic, and he had to head to another booth to do another clinic immediately. And he's like, do you mind walking and talking? And I was like, sure. Then when you realize you're trying to walk with Paul Gilbert at a fast pace, and his strides are like 20 feet. Right. Like, so I'm jogging,
Yeah.
And we talked for literally about a minute. And he goes, tell you what. He goes, here's my business card. And he hands me a pick. So that is...
Well, that's awesome, Boner. Jams. See, I was wondering, I was like, were you there too? But, oh, hell yeah.
The Paul Gilbert pick with the doodle style.
You have to put your hand behind it. There you go.
All handwritten.
Oh, that's awesome.
Which is, yeah. And let's be honest, especially when Ben's eating edibles starting at 10 a.m. each day. And I have no shame in the fact that if I see a celebrity or something that I want to meet, I will meet that celebrity.
See, mine kind of depends and stuff like that on what I'm doing. If I'm out there, out and about on NAMM floor and stuff like that, I don't care. That was like the whole thing of like that one day of like walking out of NAMM, we were like leaving NAMM. But to my left, all of a sudden we see Glenn Fricker, me and AJ. And I'm like, I've met him already and stuff. I met him earlier in the week, and then I've met him for the past 2 years. Like, I was like, all right, I've seen Glenn, I know Glenn, but it's I was like, AJ's never met him. This is his first year at NAMM, and this is one of our big guys that we watch. So I was like, dude, like we were just like over like 10 feet away, and he just like waved hi because he knew like we were walking. I was like, no, go say hi. Let's go walk over. Like, no, we're not doing that. And then I remember there was a time of a concert I've gone to with my ex and stuff, and we're walking out the end of the concert, and there was a really good opening band, the very first band, and lead singer was just out and about talking to the fans and stuff like that. So, and she was like, oh, I really want to meet him and stuff. And I grabbed her by her shoulders and like pushed her to the front of him and stuff. And I was like, she wants to meet you and stuff.
Exactly.
Like, if you don't do it, if you don't do it, you're not going to have a chance.
Wait, Fricker is a celebrity? Unbelievable. Yes. I've met Glenn now, I don't know how, 4 or 5 times. Like basically every event I go to, he's at. So I met him at all 3 NAMM events I've gone to, the 2 winters and the summer, and then I saw him at Sweetwater Gear Fest as well. That was nice. Although he treated me like a bass player, Alex. He was really admonishing me for not having business cards. He said I should have business cards. Yeah. Oh,
that is so funny. That is
it was like, but it was funny because he's telling me like the veteran YouTuber versus the newbie. Like, dude, you got to have business cards to hand out to these, these companies.
That's so funny because I had business cards and I give my business card to Phil McKnight, and he's like, what's this shit? Just tell me your YouTube channel. I'll pull out my phone right now and subscribe to you. What the fuck? Like, he was just like, no, just tell me what you are. Like, tell me your name. Tell me to pull out my phone and subscribe to you right now. Like, I can just go walk away and unsubscribe. It doesn't matter. But if business cards, someone just go walk away and throw it away and never know about your name.
What's up, Randy Greer? And I hope, see, now, when this happens, if Jay and Boner Jams are going to be at whatever the NAMM is, I will be there. I'm expecting a hug.
Same here. Me and AJ will be there and stuff like that. Like, we had, like, literally, we left NAMM, and the week after, we booked our hotel for this next year and stuff. And as soon as all the COVID stuff happened, I had to cancel it because we knew that as soon as NAMM got canceled, I was just like, all right.
It's funny. It's funny in a sense. When we got home from NAMM, all of us, everyone's like a month later talking COVID, and we're like, we were joking about COVID at NAMM.
Right.
Don't go in the basement, you'll get COVID.
And here's the thing. It was like, we hung, at least for me, I hung, well, you didn't even have to go into the basement because there were cymbal companies in the drum section that are from Wuhan, China. Like, no, whatever. So what? It comes from there. It came from there. It's all whatever. It doesn't mean any of the bullshit. But hey, I'm going to go use the restroom real quick. I'm going to be right back.
You do that, sir. You do that. Joe Hervey makes it to NAMM. We're going to do a video together, Joe. Just saying. I saw your comment. I saw it. You can stick a guitar in the guitar or card in the guitar to buy. Yes, I did see a lot of that. Ironically enough, Glenn gave me a hassle for not having business cards. I still don't have them. Then I ran into him at Summer NAMM last year, and he asked if I had a business card. I said no, and I said, "Do you?" And he didn't have one either. So Oh, excuse me. We kind of laughed about that. Yeah. Anything else going on? Let's just see what we got in the chat here. Did a bass player hurt him? Possibly. We're talking, or Joe and Boner Jams are talking about a guitar. What are you talking about? What kind of guitar are you talking about? Oh, Jim Root Jazzmaster. Yeah, they're nice. That's possible. We're going to throw that comment up there because that might be true. I haven't personally had that effect, but then again, I usually play alone in a room.
See, I've heard the Jim Root Jazzmaster is really good.
Yes, and I think the Squier Contemporary Jazzmaster was just repainted Jim Root Jazzmasters because all of a sudden they gave it that funky green paint job, but it's got EMGs and it's a Jazzmaster. I'm just like,
Yeah, you never know. Because Jim Root, that's the thing about his guitar, of that. He wants it so he can walk into any Guitar Center or any store and stuff that has it and be able to pick it up off the shelf and be able to play it.
Beautiful. Boner Jams, you are more than welcome to come on any of the Sunday night hangs. Email me with the email down below and we will set up a week. I would love to have you on. That would be awesome. Chris Baseman says he's got a Squier Bullet Strat hardtail. Nice. Modified with Fender hardware and a cool vibes or classic vibes because it only says CV and there is both. 60s neck. Awesome.
See, I still don't really know exactly between my neck styles except for like a wizard neck on... Like if we're gonna go, if you're gonna talk like different shapes in the neck, if you're gonna like a V shape or a U shape or a C shape, that I'll know. But
general rule of thumb is if you hear 50s, it's fat, 60s is thin, and apparently no new neck was invented since the 60s because you never hear 70s neck, 80s neck.
Right. Well, when you think of the 80s neck, don't you think more of like the wizard type, really thin?
That's what I would think. Yes. Yeah. Paul Fuchs, hello. Good to see you, my man. He says, thoughts on GNL. I would never, ever buy a new GNL. But I would for sure buy a used GNL because it's a shame what the resale price is on a used GNL. They are grossly undervalued on the used market.
Hey, man. Trade value still works.
Nice. Good.
Because that's the reason. That's the reason why I have a Gibson is through a GNL. GNL ASAT Classic. It's still like maybe a $1,200 guitar, still a $1,000 guitar. Maybe not like the best, Still it took like maybe $100, $200 hit, but then this has the pearly gates. So. Yeah,
the only guitar that probably has poor resale value is any PV electric guitar. American-made guitars, and you can pick them up used for like $300-400.
Oh, always. I can find a PV usually cheaper than that too. If you don't go to like major sites, you go to Craigslist or eBay or something like that. Oh yeah,
that's right. Ooh, I like GNR. That. Brad he kind of took the promotion and turned it. He says, "Get your cool business cards here at vibraprintonline.com." Nice. I like that. Not that, Tim from Vibraprint, he has done up some business cards for me in the past. That was 25 years ago, probably. And that was for a different company when I was actually his sales rep when we were a sign company. So,
yeah, I got to get new business cards, but since we're not doing anything for whoever knows how long, why do I need business cards right now?
Fortunately or unfortunately, one of our friends had kind of, let's just call it questionable morals. Mm-hmm. So he had a tendency to throw a rock through a sign on a convenience store. Then, a couple days later, I would go into said convenience store and offer a discount rate on replacing said sign. So I would drive up to Toronto, buy some clear plexiglass, paint some
white make some
primer
money somehow, right?
Yeah, you throw a little white primer on the one side of the clear plexi, and I'd lay down those vinyl graphics on the other side, and boom. Yes, Reverend, another deal. Yeah, great guitar.
Yep.
Not the best resale value, which is good for us. That I always buy shit.
Buy one. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I don't see. It's like buying a new car. Why? In 2 years, it's worth half as much.
Don't get me started. I have a problem with my ex. Their parents bought her a $16,000 Audi, and I'm like, but you can go spend $3,000 on a really fine car. Like, what? Like, yeah. And that's my thing. It's like the car that I have is just the family-owned car that I've had since like second grade. Is my minivan.
There we go. So, perfect.
I'm like, and I want that. And it's like, I want that. That's my car. That's the car that drove me in my first band to our practices and our first gigs.
Minivans are great for that because you can haul basically almost an entire band's worth of gear in the minivan, and they're great on gas mileage as well.
Exactly. I've hauled a full band's gear, like full drum set, multiple guitar amps, bass amp, and all of the band members. Plus 3 more people.
Nice.
Not saying it's legal, but we weren't going far. It was just a hometown local show, so we're going from my house 5-10 minutes away. So we're like, all right.
That's my long-term plan. I want to get like a minivan conversion van, and rather than spending $500-600 on a plane ride out to NAMM, I just want to drive. I'd rather and spend 5 days doing the drive, because I think technically the drive for me to California is about 48 or 50 hours or
but that's if you do it nonstop.
Yeah. Now, granted, my cousin did do California to Toronto in 2 days, and they were literally it was 2 guys in the car nonstop. One slept.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
And it was literally stopped for fuel and food, and that was it.
See, I have a thing where I don't drive. Like, I don't have my license or anything. I'm 22 and don't have my license. Never have. I've had my permit once, and I haven't had my license since.
See you,
I live in San Francisco. See ya. But I live in San Francisco, and honestly, that's where the best public transportation is in the U.S. and stuff. It's like you're never gonna get any sort of bus system and subway system and stuff like other than like New York. But New York's even, everyone talks shit about the New York subway and the buses and stuff like that. Right. Where the bus system and the subway system in San Francisco is so amazing. Like they're trying to expand it so much out in California.
Exactly. Like even hourly commuter buses, right, from outside communities, stuff like that.
That's the reason why I used to live in Santa Rosa and stuff like that, which is a 45-minute drive, but it's a 2-hour bus ride and stuff like that. Not the best bus ride, but I would use that bus ride and I would go to work and school and stuff like that.
Well, we did. I remember like going into Toronto for the cost of parking in Toronto, which is roughly $10 an hour to park.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Yep,
so what you do is we drive basically the bare minimum, which is roughly halfway, 2/3 of the way. We drive into, say, Oshawa, which is Zach Thong's hometown. Mm-hmm. That's still a good 45 minutes outside of the city. Park in the parking lot. You grab the GO train, which is like a commuter train service. Flat rate, $10. Boom.
No, I would... Yeah, I would ask my ex to drop me off from Santa Rosa. She would drop me off in San Rafael, which is right on the other side of the Golden Gate Bridge and stuff. Not like the very other side, but like you got Marin, like a little bit more of the Marin, nicer, really rich place. And then you got San Rafael, which is like right there's the start of the train and all the bus. There's a major bus depot right there. So they're just like, all right, get here and you get on to the bus to go to San Francisco and stuff like that. And it took me like a little hill up go to my work, so it wasn't that bad and stuff. So I was like, all right, this is what I'm gonna do, and I did that for about almost a year and stuff. But definitely worth it to come back to where I'm living now, because if COVID wasn't happening, I have my dream job now and stuff. I'm working live sound at a music venue.
Beautiful.
So being the sound engineer.
Been there, done that. That's fun. Yep.
Yeah. Well, when you go to school for it for 3 years, and then it's like, yeah, of course you're going to be like, all right, well, I need a job in this.
I just literally pulled that all out of my ass. And that was...
Oh, you can. Yeah.
Well, the funny part, I was doing live sound for the military, for ceremonies, so it's mostly just speaking. And, but being a musician, I'm like, we've got like literally, I did sound for the Prime Minister of Canada. So the president, basically, right? Mm-hmm. He's got a bit, the Prime Minister at the time, he had a bit of a nasally voice. So I just EQ'd a bit of mids out, gave him a little high, a little low, kind of mid-scooped him a bit, made him sound like a man. And it was funny because the band that I referenced earlier tonight, the classic rock band with a female singer, she was in a band that I later joined years later. But the first iteration of the band, she's putting together, and she's like, if you can make him sound good, you can make my band sound awesome. Will you come out and do sound for us? I said, sure. If you buy me beer for the night, I'll do your sound. Because I'm driving. I'm only going to have 2 beers, maybe 3 over the course of 7 or 8 hours. Well within reason. And then from doing sound for that band, I stopped working for the military. Ironically, karma being real. Literally, the week I left the military, a local bar closed down, and I was able to buy out their PA system for pennies on the dollar. So all of a sudden, well, I might as well start a live sound business. And I just, for every indie show in this area, I was a sound guy.
Nice. Yet I got really lucky on what I did. I had a friend that I've just known since like 6th grade and stuff like that. Like we were not the greatest friends in middle school. Like this was a girl like I liked and would always like go after and stuff. Like it was just, she was the cute girl in middle school and stuff.
There's a few of those,
like, yeah, exactly. So, but high school, we were separate and away from each other because we went to we ended up going to different high schools and stuff.
Sure.
And then I moved off to San Francisco, went and did my thing, and then I moved back, and then we were dealing with the power outages here and stuff like that. And I was like, okay, our town has power, but I'm still out of power. Can someone help me out? I need to charge my phone, take a shower, do something and stuff, because when we lose power, we also lose water. That's our problem and stuff. So
right.
So like it's like, okay, it's been 5 days. Can I please have a shower now? Like, and so my friend was like, "Hey,
this is okay on tour. This is not okay at home."
This isn't tour. This is at home where I'm just like, okay, now I'm just sitting in the dark, bored and stuff like that. Like, sucks. So my friend was like, okay, you can come over, you like hang out with us, take a shower, do your thing, and stuff. So I went and did that, and then but she ended up inviting me to her Halloween party like the next 2 weeks and stuff. And when I was there, I ended up getting really, really drunk. Like I had 2 bottles on my own coat self, and I had finished those, plus a bottle that I brought for them, plus going to the store to buy 2 more handles.
Sure.
And I was like, okay, yeah, I'm really drunk. And at some point, her mom came by and her stuff. And I've known her mom since I was in 6th grade. Like, her mom loves me and stuff. And I was like, oh, hi, and stuff. I was like, oh, and I just overheard her talking, just like, oh, my husband needs a new sound engineer. Like, we're looking for sound guys at our bar and stuff like that. I was like, here's my business card. Like, that's the only time my business card's ever worked. And I was like, here's my business card. And
sure.
Next morning, I woke up with a text like, hey, do you want to come shadow me and stuff like this? I'm blah blah blah's husband and stuff. And then ever since, I'm now really good friends with him, and it's ever since he brought me to the bar, I shadowed him for 3 nights and stuff like that. And he was like, all right, I want you to work this night by yourself. And he gave me a really big, well-known Ireland like rock punk band.
Nice.
Like they're very actually well known in like the Sacramento, San Francisco area, known as On Off. And they're really good, but he was like, I'm putting you in the deep shit right now. You're not getting some like one-off, like
Perfect.
Just solo artist. No, you're getting a full rock band that wants a normal setup.
Nice.
So he put me in the middle of it, and then everyone said, like, you have one of the best sounds we've ever heard, like, other than, like, the main sound guy.
Sure.
And I was like,
Unbelievable
okay.
says, I got burnt out doing sound for live bands. There's only so many jazz funk one can take. Well, I could one up you because I could
a rock metal
a
bar.
lot of that. 99% of the bands I did sound for were gent. I hate gent music. To the point where Alex, I would set the sound during because nobody got a sound check, obviously, right? So you basically mix the sound during the first verse.
Oh,
I do that.
Yeah, that's
boom.
a problem then. Yeah.
As soon as the sound was set, in go with the earplugs for the rest of the set. And hell, I'd even put my girlfriend at the soundboard, and I'd go out and have a smoke.
Okay, you know what you also need to do the next time you get an AM and stuff.
Yes.
You need to follow this one page called Eargasm Earplugs. And stuff
yes,
on
I'm
Facebook.
aware.
Just follow their page on Facebook. They do this thing right before NAMM where they're just like, "Hey, reserve so you can get a free pair of our earplugs."
Oh, nice.
So that's the only reason why, like, I'm just like, "Hey, go
and
check them out."
Eargasms are good earplugs too. Hey, we got Metal Rocker in the house. Welcome, new name in the chat.
Yeah, they're those
And like I will say, for a new name in the chat, he's fitting right in because he's having a bowl and chilling.
Yeah, they're those really nice earplugs. Like, they got the multiple things, and then they got that whole sound. I don't like mesh sound thing. So you can hear when people talk, but when something hits such a certain decibel and stuff like that, that's when it cuts it down.
Roy Batty says, I don't even know what gent is, lucky me. Well, for me, it was a bunch of kids playing 7-string Ibanez's through crate half stacks or line 6 half stacks.
So Korn?
They wish. All I know is it's very rhythm based. Dun 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 dun. Chinese crash.
That's Stevie T. Stevie T.
All I remember is every fucking drummer had a jazz drum kit, which means one tom up top instead of two because they're bastards, and a Chinese crash. To the point where when we started the Honey Badger outfit, when we were auditioning drummers, if you showed up and you put a Chinese crash on your kit, I told you to fucking leave.
Not come on, even no matter what.
Doesn't matter if I see a jazz kit with a Chinese crash and
a jazz kit with a Chinese crash.
Jazz kit, Chinese crash, and a double kick pedal. It was like that was the trifecta. I'm like, you're a gent drummer, no thanks. But yeah, it was kind of funny that way. But
I feel like me and Joe are being like hurt on the inside, just like we're being stabbed right now.
However, you probably got an automatic check mark in my book if you're adding a cowbell to your kit. Because that's me, right? And immediately I'm like, any of y'all got a splash cymbal? And they're like, nobody's used a splash since the 80s. I was like, I know. I'd be the guy that screw the double kick. Do you have any rototoms? I was like, why? Are we playing Phil Collins?
I got lucky with the two drummers I did have and stuff, because both of them had really just large kicks, just kits and stuff. My first drummer didn't have the double bass and stuff, but he had rototoms, a bunch of different, like 3 cymbals and stuff in his hi-hat. But he was our normal guy who's been in music and band with me since like 6th grade. So I was like, all right, I know this guy. But then when I moved to San Francisco, the dude that I met, he has the full kit plus double kicks and stuff plus rototoms, like 6 cymbals. I'm just like, he was like, you better bring earplugs to the band practice. I was like, wait, what? Because my band practices, I ended up becoming the drummer. So I ended up, like, I know doing drumming without earplugs because that's what we would have to do at school. So I'm just like, okay, this is what I would watch my drummer and how he was taught. Okay. But yeah, no, it's not the right way if you want to get some good sounds for like rock and metal though. It's good for jazz.
Well, yeah. And usually one of my first questions was, can you do a shuffle just on the snare, which is rockabilly, country, or look at the drummer. I say, "Do you own a set of brushes?" They're like, "What are brushes?" I'm like,
"Yeah, if they say that, get out.
My band,
get out."
Yeah.
If you don't know what brushes,
honestly, a drummer could show up for me and have just a snare, a bass drum, hi-hats, and a crash, and that's it. Because that's straight cat, drum kit, rockabilly. I'm like, boom.
I've recorded that for jazz and stuff like that, so that would be the drum set. But then we also had guitar, bass, keyboard, and saxophone. Barry's. He did a bunch of different sax, so he went from tenor to alto to Barry.
Always wanted to play with a sax player.
But it's just doing that little jazz combo and stuff like that. That was really good and stuff like that. But yeah, the drummer that's all he had. I think he had one tom and stuff. He only had one tom, so jazz kit, so just one tom. But he barely played it. He's mainly on the bass and snare and stuff, and all is one crash and ride.
That's right. And everyone should check out, what is it? The last Wednesday of every month, Boner Jams does his Metal Wednesday with Jay Hannon. Whatever, Metal Meltdown? I don't know what it's called, but it's the last Wednesday of the month on the Johnny Bean channel.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Guitar Man 45 says, I met Brian's sister in the 80s when he was with the Stray Cat at the Masonic Temple.
Wait, the Masonic Temple? Wait. Guitar Man, the Masonic Temple in San Francisco?
See, I was thinking of the one in Toronto. Because the old Masonic Temple in Toronto became known as just the concert hall, which was 1,400 seats. So you got everybody on their first headlining tour. Because it's bigger than a club. Yeah. So, I got to see Alice in Chains on their first headlining tour in the fall of '92, and they showed up with an arena sound system.
Oh, yeah.
By far the loudest concert I've ever been to.
Oh, yeah, that's the thing. And because that's the thing, the Masonic Temple that's in San Francisco, it's right across the street from Cathedral Church and stuff like that. It's been in movies of, Ant-Man and the Wasp lately. That's where I used to work. That's a Live Nation music venue now.
Nice.
So so that's why I was like, so it could be either one. But back in the 80s, I don't know if it was still a music venue. But they were an amphitheater. They have the large, really nice, close, killer amphitheater for San Francisco.
I want to say thank you, Joe. He says that we get along together.
The and Duran Duran for free there.
Nice. Always been a fan of Duran Duran. Always loved Duran Duran because they were that pop band,
really good,
with a heavy guitar tone as well.
Right. Yeah,
and it was perfect. We got Deja Blue in here. We got Hobo Roadie in here.
It's also had Korn actually did come to my work and stuff too. Like my parents are huge. If you don't know,
nice.
kind of. Yeah, but this is like the old 1990s. It's their old school drawing and stuff from one of their posters and stuff from the 1990s that my parents just had and laminated. But
Eric, Metalhead Hippie, enjoy your show tonight. We'll send everyone over to Metalhead Hippie's channel after we wrap up because he does an awesome live streams 3 days a week. I don't know. He goes 4 or 5 hours at a time. It's insane. Check it out. If you haven't already.
Therapy Laz is saying there's a big one in SF. A big what?
Yeah.
Like a big... Are you talking about the Sonic Temple?
Yeah. Who was the guitar player that played with Zappa and joined D2? I don't know. What's D2? I don't know. Steve Vai? He's the only guitar player I ever knew that played with Zappa.
I don't know who D2 is.
Okay, apparently the Big S in San Francisco, also in Oakland, right by the Lake Marriott, Grace
Cathedral. Oh, so yeah, he's talking about the one that I used to work at. It's right across the street from the Grace Cathedral and stuff. That's the one that Music Therapy Laz, because Music Therapy Laz is a Bay Area guy.
Yeah.
Stuff. So he knows. Yeah. So the Masonic Temple. Yeah, it's the largest one in San Francisco, and it's one of the ones people come by. It's all marble and stuff like that for the lobby and the outside. It all looks like a square marble thing. When you walk by, you're like, what the hell is this place? And you can usually go in the lobby, go in, walk up to the balcony, see the little book, stuff of all the Masonic Freemasons. And we have this large stained glass thing that has elements from all of the different minerals and elements from all the different counties that are in California and stuff.
Oh, wow.
So it's one of the largest California Masonic temples, I believe.
Okay, so D2 is Duran Duran. Okay.
Oh, okay.
So guitar player that went on, that played with Zappa that joined Duran Duran. See, that would be weird because I can't remember his first name. Last name was Taylor. Played with Duran Duran for like the majority of their career, and being a British band, that would be interesting to hook up with Zappa. Because I only know the one player. I want to say it's not Roger Taylor, because Roger Taylor played for Queen. That was the drummer for Queen.
Was it Warren Cucurullo?
Oh, Deja Blue just said Warren.
Yeah. So I'm seeing, just because I'm looking on, I just looked up literally on Google, Zappa to Duran Duran. Second thing comes up is Warren Cucurullo, and I'm just seeing personal life, blah, blah, blah. It says 1977 to 1980, the Zappa years, and then from 1986 to 2001, the Duran Duran years.
See, that makes sense. Yeah, because whoever his name was, the original guitar player would have left.
Yeah, Cucurullo.
And then they formed Power Station, which was like half Duran Duran, but with Robert Palmer singing.
Okay.
Amazing on Ordinary World. Right, yes, the comeback.
Okay. There we go.
Solving all the world's problems. Was using
Google
Steinberg.
Helps out with everything.
Yeah, Google knows all. It's handy when you have a YouTube channel. Yeah, definitely not RJ Ronquillo. That's true. RJ was too young. He was just a youngin. Andy Taylor.
Steinbergers.
Andy Taylor sounds
Steinberger.
I need to get a Steinberger at some point.
I literally only use it as a travel guitar. Like, that's what I'm mainly using it for. But wiggle stick, that's also what I use it for.
Nice. But that is that the actual trans trem or?
This is the Steinberger system. It says under license. I think so, because it's the one that I can undo and then it's floating.
Okay, so but does it lock into different keys? Can you lock the bar into different keys?
Oh, lock the bar in different keys? No.
Yeah, the original Steinberger trim, it had like almost like a gear on it. So that's how like Eddie would go from E tuning to standard D tuning just by pushing down the bar and locking it in.
So no, it has this bar right here and stuff.
Okay.
It does have this bar, but you probably could if you know how to set it up right.
Yeah, that was the thing. You can go down or up on tuning. I can't remember.
Yeah, it's like, well, this bar really, this one, because this is like one of the cheap ones. This is only the Spirit and stuff. So this is like literally meant for like travel guitar, like
that. Yeah, that wouldn't be the trans trim. Yeah, and Deja Blue saying the same thing. Yeah, because the trans trim you could take off of it, Alex, and sell it and buy a guitar and amp with just the trim.
Yeah, that's what I've heard about the trans trim. That's why I was like, I don't think it's the trans trim. It's just that Steinberger trim. Like, yeah, it's just that locking mechanism. That's weird.
Yeah.
But now I only bought this literally just for travel. It's just because I noticed like this year I flew three to four times this year. I'm supposed to fly actually later this month too, but I gotta figure that out.
Apparently,
I'm only supposed to go to San Diego. Yeah. Ooh, making waffles. Okay, donkey.
Well, we've still got 30 people tuned in. That's pretty cool. We're 2 hours in, basically. So any last questions, get them out now, folks. We're going to wrap things up. Not because I need to use the room, but I've got a beer and a half into me. Maybe we'll go till the end of the beer. How about we'll go till the end of the beer?
Got the end of my beer, too, so perfect.
But we'll allow some questions to come through. I'm going to quickly run and use the room myself. And so, unfortunately, when we have guests like Alex on who have their own channel, I don't mind leaving for a minute or so. We'll do that. So take it away, Alex.
Yeah. Unbelievable asks, paper or plastic? I don't know, man. I'm more of that's the thing. Depends on the plastic. You see, we live here in California. We have this little bit different type of plastic that's at our stores. So it's not exactly that same old grocery store really cheap plastic. If you go with that really cheap plastic, yeah, but I'm usually a paper guy and stuff. Favorite TV dinner? Stofers all the way. Stofers you're gonna go no problems and wrong with. Like I'm not usually a fan of like one of those like multiple tray TV dinner kind of things and stuff. But you want to go with a good thing, get the Stouffer's mac and cheese and stuff. Either you get the small individual portion and stuff like that, and you just put that in the microwave. That's fine. Or you get the family size white cheddar Stouffer's mac and cheese and stuff like that. Put that in the oven and stuff. Do the 45 minutes. Worth your time, people. Worth your time. Let me tell you, oven baked mac and cheese way better than of microwaved.
I'm gonna go with the Hungry Man dinner because I do like the portioned out large quantity of food, but I do like those big, like say the mac and cheese or your lasagnas and such.
Mm-hmm. See, I do like the Stouffer's one where they come like maybe with like the main course and a side, but when it comes with like so many like 3 or 4 little things, it's just like maybe I want a little bit more of certain one thing, you know?
And for a quick snack on the go, the Michelinas, they're nice. They're just nice little portion.
What's a Michelina's?
Oh, Michelina? It's a, like, they do mostly pasta based and it's just one container. It's not separated or anything. Okay. And they retail for about $2. Yeah, that's kind of like a Stouffer's.
Yeah, I was about to say like that's our Stouffer's. Yeah,
and then you can get like the no-name brand that are like $1 or $2. So
hey man, I'm a Stouffer's lover. Especially when it just comes on mac and cheese. Ah man, but it's the white cheddar oven baked.
Stouffer's has the best pot pies too.
Ooh, I've heard the pot pies are really good, and honestly, I've also had the chicken Alfredo. It's not bad. It's not like if you had homemade, but it's good.
Pineapple on pizza. Yes.
Depends.
And you know what? And I feel okay saying yes because I just saw a news report today that the Hawaiian pizza is the #1 ordered pizza in America in 2020.
But is that only because of the meme?
I don't know. It just said that
like, are more people ordering Hawaiian pizza because of the meme because they want to try it. But here's my thing: it's just more of I'm not a ham guy on my pizza.
Okay,
just pepperoni and pineapple, I could do it and stuff.
Fair enough.
Sausage, pepperoni, and pineapple, but I'm just not a ham guy, so that's why
I did pepperoni pizza for dinner tonight. It was great.
Dude, pepperoni pizza.
The technology of the frozen pizza has come a long way. I will say
Probably what I'll go heat up here after we get off.
Hey, Bill Eaker, new name in the. Wow, we've got a few new names in the chat tonight. This is awesome. Bill, welcome. Don't recognize your name. That's awesome. MC, I've seen you.
MC is my guy. Yeah.
Considering how the year played out so far, mostly negative, what is the one positive thing that's happened to you for you this year? Positive thing in 2020.
I mean, I got a couple, but I'll let you go.
You know what? Just the continued growth of the YouTube guitar community.
There you go.
Sure. It's helped my channel grow this year on a personal level, but I've seen the growth everywhere. Like everybody is getting more viewers, which is awesome.
Well, especially right now, everyone's got nothing better to do than be online.
Yes. One of the negativities of 2020 is guys like Alex and myself, we're trying to grow our YouTube channels and our brand. Then the lockdown happens. Then you got legit rock stars starting YouTube channels. I'm like, fuck right off. Nobody's going to watch us if Warren DeMartini is doing a live stream.
I know. I'm sitting there just being like, why am I going to go live when I sit there and see the guys from Psycho Stick live on Twitch right now? What?
Yeah.
Like... But we have one of the most amazing communities over here and stuff like that, I have to say. And that's why, me personally, that's why I also came back and stuff. I was, I left, but I was still here on YouTube. I always kept up and like would check in, but I went over to a different like live stream platform just because honestly, they just give you money, they monetize you. I was able to make a couple $100 off of it. Like I wouldn't be able to have like a couple of the stuff just that I have. I just needed to get
I probably would have done the same thing had this not already been monetized.
Yeah, it was just like, I'm just like so young that I was like, okay, I can still change over, and if I have to change back, it's still good. Like I'm a young guy. I'm young in the YouTube channel. and stuff. So
you're extremely young in the guitar YouTube channel community.
Don't get me wrong, I know.
I'm a young guy in the YouTube guitar community, for God's sake. So Deja Blue says, when did Warren DeMartini do a live stream? I was just using Warren as an example. I wish Warren would do a live stream. God, I wish.
No, but like I literally see the guys, every single person from Trivium and stuff, they all do a Twitch live stream and stuff. And then Psycho Stick does a multiple week live stream of just, they have a full like rehearsal band studio and stuff, and they all just play together in a band studio. And that's actually really cool to see on the, like, honestly, not giving Twitch love, but Psycho Stick's Twitch stuff is actually really cool if you like Psycho Stick. Just because, you know, I just think their riffs are cool, but then their songs are funny. Like, it's
awesome. See you, Kirkar. Have a good night, my friend. What is your favorite non-Van Halen guitar tone? All right. So I'm going to put it up like if I had to play through somebody's rig and you get their hands and everything for that tone, hands down, as far as I'm concerned, best guitar tone has to be Jerry Cantrell. That guy has some amazing tone and always has.
That's a good one.
Hey, we got Aaron from Elvis Band showing up. Look at that, 2 hours in.
What up,
he was hanging with his dad. That's all good. I hope your dad's doing well. I hope Dave is doing well. I was like, I should know Aaron's dad's name. I've met him multiple times. And then when you realize, you know, it's also your first name and your father's name.
Maybe.
All right, here's the story of what you're doing. Awesome show, Ben and Alex. We're going to eat dinner. I think, you know, Laz is using the voice to text there because it's English, but it's not really. So
yeah, it's just it's that first sentence.
Yeah, enjoy dinner, Laz.
Here's a story of what you're due.
If Laz is still listening, and since Alex is on air, I'm planning. Let's say approximately a month and a half from now, and Aaron's in the chat too. Anybody that we hung with at NAMM, I want to do a NAMM reunion since we don't have NAMM. So Alex, you're in. Laz, Aaron, we'll get JJ. Hell, we'll even get Garguts on here.
Yeah, he wanted to come on tonight, but I mean, like, I don't know.
Of course he did. He was just trying to horn his way in.
Well, no, but it's you know, he gives, he's my co-host, he's my guy, so he's always there with me and stuff. So I do get him. But honestly, Joe Hervey's for my like signature rig that I would go through other than a EVH tone. I literally what Joe Hervey said, it would be either Mick Thompson's or Jim Root's and stuff. Just because either one, I think I would lean towards more Jim Root's just because Jim's has more of a versatile, like you can go from clean to dirty and stuff like that. Where Mick's is a very heavy tone. But
right.
That's where I like Jim's. Like Jim listens to jazz music on his free time. Like, so. And that's what he will like put into his music. And because he's a lot of the, like, if you ever hear the clean tones to Slipknot, it's a lot of Jim. So.
Awesome. Nice to see Aaron's dad remembers me. That's nice. Yeah. And I vaguely, every time I FaceTime with Aaron and his dad's in the background, Alex, all I hear is, did he get a job yet? No. And then
YouTube's a job.
And then his follow-up question, did he get a haircut yet? No. He's like, God.
I know that question.
Yeah, and then he just rolls his eyes, and that's why we love him. Gilmore or Lifeson? Ooh. Ow. That's a coin toss. I love them both. I don't know. That's a good one.
Oof.
And I agree, Roy Batty, Scott Ian has had great tone for ages.
Right, I might have to say Gilmore, but it's not that I don't like Lifeson. It's fucking yeah, that's just but I might have to give it to Gilmore.
I'll go with Lifeson just because he's Canadian.
Oh, there you go. And
yes, exactly, Aaron. Dave's full-time job right there. Yeah.
There you go.
Well, it's funny, Alex, because when I went to Summer NAMM, as you know, I went to Aaron's house first, crashed there for a night. Mm-hmm. We went down to Nashville. We did our thing. We come back. I'm crashing there for another day or two. Mm-hmm. And Aaron's dad had he had enough food for 6 people laid out for us, because apparently he'd been cooking large portions while we were gone. So we had 3 days worth of leftovers. So it was a buffet of stuff. Woo. And he's but in that typical Dave Lee fashion, he's like, you guys probably haven't eaten a decent meal since the last time I fed you. Come and say, and we come off an 8-hour road trip, and I'm just liver and onions. Yes, please.
Right.
Yes. And I'm just eating all this food, and I'm just inhaling, and he's looking at me, and he's like, yeah, you haven't eaten a decent meal in ages.
Yeah, this is the one that hasn't eaten anything here. Yeah. They don't got a good family member that feeds them well, clearly.
Yeah, exactly. All right, Unbelievable's got to head out. Or sorry, unfucking believable. We'll say it. Unfucking believable. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. There we go.
Nonstop.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that. I love it. So, thank you, Sandra, for posting links in the show. Now, I do appreciate it.
Do you think that they'll have a Summer NAMM next year?
No.
Nope.
I don't think so. Only because it's so much smaller. They probably already canceled that for whatever reason.
Yeah, I guess. Knowing how NAMM works, they probably already have, and they just haven't said anything.
And Summer NAMM is pretty much you figure Winter NAMM, they use basically 4 halls on the main floor, so it's one of those halls.
Yeah,
maybe.
But couldn't that also be a reason for NAMM to do something, since those kind of conventions are a little bit more okay if it's a little bit smaller like that? Because there's a lot of those Comic-Cons and convention stuff that happen here. Because I know literally in it was October and stuff like that, and they did a little Roseville Comic-Con stuff like that, where it was not a lot of people and stuff. You get a few thousand, but it's overall throughout the weekend. Stuff not like how normal NAMM is, where you get 20,000 people a day.
Aaron, give your old man a big hug for me. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. I think you're going to see more. I don't know how many people are aware of it, but Fender. Mm-hmm. Each year, Fender does Fender Days, which is literally they fly in all of their Fender dealers to Fender headquarters.
Really?
Where they do their own product launches in-house, and then they'll take everybody from Arizona, take them up into California to show them the factory and everything. Oh, yeah. Because, my good buddy owns Ardens Music. He's Fender rep.
Yeah.
So not only does he do NAMM each year, he also goes out to Fender itself. And they literally, and I think you're going to see more companies of note, which honestly, what is that? Fender, Gibson, and that's kind of it. Will Gibson do that as well? They'd be smart if they did.
They'd be smart with their new reps to do it.
Well, see, the thing is, between Fender and Gibson and those brands, FMIC and Gibson Inc., that's approximately 70% of all guitar sales is just those two companies.
Right. But Deja Blue's got a good point. The Sweetwater event is already, it's coming a little bit more better, too.
Yeah,
so
and
maybe the Sweetwater event will happen instead of NAMM, but at a smaller scale.
That's a good size. That event is at least, I'm trying to think, at least half the size of Summer NAMM, I would say. At least. Really? Yeah, because it's 3 or 4 good-sized outdoor pavilion tents, plus the gypsies, as I'll call them, the vendors selling used stuff, local pawn shops and stuff, which is awesome that they even do that. Let's be honest, I don't know about you, Alex, but if I owned a music store, a major music store, the last thing I'm going to do is say, hey, used guys in the area, come in and take away business from me. But they do.
Right.
Which is awesome because it's a mini guitar show within the event. And that's how I ended up with the Kramer. But Sweet, what? That's a hard one because you spend money. You don't have a choice in many ways because, like, I almost walked out of there with the Schecter equivalent of their Les Paul because I got the president of Schecter,
the Eclipse,
standing there giving me the hard sell,
or no, that's
crunching numbers.
That's ESPs. My bad. Yeah, I know. Yeah, the Schecter's single cut. Yeah,
like, I'm in the Fishman booth, and Greg Koch himself is like, "You should buy my pickups." I'm like, "Fuck, I should buy your pickups." Like,
well, how much are your pickups?
If we were buyers, we would get that at NAMM. We would get the hard sell, but because we're not buyers, we don't see it. But because it's NAMM, but it's also open to the public, you literally have like Brian Wampler saying, "Alex, you need this pedal," and you're like, "I know, Brian, I need that pedal," and that's how.
Well, that's the thing. It's like, when I go to NAMM, I do have a buyer's pass. I've had a buyer's pass for the past 2 years.
Yeah, but they can tell. We don't look like buyers.
They can. And stuff. You get these really random guys and stuff. I was really surprised, like the Trident dude. I think it was just more of he was just interested in just being like, oh, there's someone talking at my booth that was like really interested in my stuff and stuff. I think that's more of like how he went. But yeah, no, like a lot of people, they can tell. But also at the same time, at certain times, I did get hit up more times than I did when I had that student pass and stuff.
I agree. Yeah. We dealt with that a bit because this year, well, as you know, we were me, Aaron, and JJ. We were all representing Flipside Music this year.
Yeah,
and Flipside couldn't make it, so ding, ding, ding. After day one, I thought enough to text Ike at Flipside and say, "Hey, is there anything you need me to check out since you can't be here? Actually do work." And he said, "Yes, please go check out the Reverend booth of all their new products." So I thought I could go check them out. Well, that's my opinion. No, that's the one day I had Aaron and JJ both come with me to the booth so we could get 3 people's opinion on every guitar. And I said to the guys, I'm like, "You've got to play all the 2020 stuff and give me your feedback." And I walked up. Ken Haas, president of Reverend, he kind of recognized me because we've met before. And let's be honest, Alex, there's not a lot of us long hairs walking around, thankfully. So they kind of recognize us.
Yeah.
And they treated us like rock stars to the point where I sat in a chair and people, whoever, I don't know, because Ken just like, "You two, help these guys out." They're pulling down guitars, putting them in your lap to play, and then grabbing another one. So it was just amazing. And here I'm playing through the Greg Koch amp with the Greg Koch pedal for boost. And I'm just like, yeah, give it all to me, And I tried out tons of stuff, and those guys were great because once they realized, you're awesome. Buyers, then they put the hard sell on, and Ike did put in a nice order post NAMM, and so it was really nice in that respect. And although Reverend, they're one of the cooler companies, I will say. Similar vibe, Vola, similar vibe. Yeah. It's guitar players that did well in life, as opposed to corporate guys that put out a good product. You could tell, like, these guys are they didn't lose the cool factor.
And that's the thing about Vola; they're very top guy and stuff like that. But he's just such a great guy, honestly, and stuff. That maybe he's not like the guitar player; he's more of the suit type. But he's just such a lovable guy. He's very personal, and he's just like and stuff. Like when I came after I won the guitar the year before, and then I come to NAMM this year, and he gives me a big old hug, like, "Oh, you came back? Hell yeah!" Like, like, come here.
Exactly. Deja Blue says, "So Pete Thorne is doing a lag guitar review soon. Have you guys seen that Tonewood amp?" Yes, I'm very aware of the Tonewood amps on acoustics. Those things are amazing. Thinking of Vola too, you get a kick out of this, having interaction with Vola. So Summer NAMM last year, Vola has a booth. Baker's there part-time, kind of doing his thing.
Of course.
Baker's not at the booth. I see Baker at another booth, and I walk up to him, and I'm like, I noticed, he had his blue Vola. It was in with Vola forever, getting pickup swapped, and they brought it to the show for him to take home. And so I walked up to Baker, and I said, "I'm going to go over to the Vola booth, and I'm going to play your guitar." And he said, and he looks at me, he goes, "You play it and then smash it on the floor." And I'm thinking, I don't know if I could do that. So I walk up to the Vola booth, and it's at that one point in the day where there's only 4 people in the booth, and they're all
like
suits.
Greg and Sean. It's just Greg and Sean, maybe.
Yeah, it's just the suits are there, right?
Yeah,
and they're doing their thing, and I just walk up.
And that's the thing. They're not even really suits. Like Greg's not a suit really, and then I know they just came out with what's his face. He's the one that just came out with an E-type and stuff. It's that red and white E-type that was at NAMM this last year,
right?
And stuff. That was and that's the one I want really bad.
I just walk into their booth, and they're looking at me like, "Oh, what's he gonna try?" And I walk right over to Baker's guitar, which is just on a single stand.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the guys is like, "Ah!" I'm like, "This is Baker's guitar, right?" Yep. Boom, grab it, start playing it. Oh, okay, cool. Played it for a couple of minutes, put it back, and they're like, "Anything else you want to try?" I'm like, "No, I just want to try Baker's guitar." And they're like, "Okay," like immediately they're like, "Obviously he's a fan or whatever."
Yeah, he's like, yeah. Well, that's they do have to deal with a lot of Robert Baker's YouTube.
They really should have said, "No, that's Robert Baker's personal guitar. Get your hands off of it." But they didn't.
Yeah, they as long as you're not gonna, they're gonna keep an eye on you. That's the thing. They got
and then the funny part was, I think it was the first live stream Robert did after NAMM. He's like, "Hey, the theme was I got my Vola back," and I type in it. I played that guitar at NAMM. He goes, "I knew it felt more Canadian."
It felt more Canadian.
Yeah, I think you licked it. It feels more Canadian. I think you licked it.
Well, that was such the funny thing about when I won the Vola and stuff. I went and met Robert Baker the day before, 2 days before he won it. Like I won it, and like I told him, I'm like, "Oh yeah, I entered into the contest, just to see if I win it. Just you never know." I literally I literally told him I'm not looking to win this. I'm not whatever happens. I'm just looking to hang out with you and just see your cool clinic, because every time I just see him play or something, I just love Robert Baker's tone and stuff. That's one of my favorite tones. So I'm just like, all right, yeah. We go through all that, and that's the thing. 2 other people were supposed to win that Vola and stuff.
Yeah, I know, that was awesome. And for those who don't know, if you watch Robert Baker, how he is in his videos and on YouTube, that's Baker to a T. He's the exact same guy. Yeah, I remember the first time not the first time, it would have been the second time. Because first time I met him was at Sweetwater, where we stood in the rain and talked for half an hour in the rain.
Okay.
That was awesome. And then when I ran into him at NAMM, I was trying to set up an interview with him at the time. And one of the first things he said to me, he goes, "Oh, you got a haircut." And I was just like,
"Oh, of course.
Yeah, I did. Thanks." He noticed, and I'm like, holy shit, Robert knows who I am. At that point, he must have vetted me or whatever, checked out a video or something.
Right.
So, a 6-string Brian, he hasn't commented in a couple hours, but he said, "Yup." That's fine.
Yup. Yeah, I'm trying to get Robert on the guest what.
He hasn't replied. He's not an easy guy to get a hold of, but when you do, it's awesome.
Actually, it's kind of funny. Ever since I won the Vola, every time I've hit him up beforehand and stuff, or he's actually hit me up before and stuff, being like, "Didn't you want my blue telly and stuff?" Because he was gonna sell his blue Telecaster and stuff, and that's when I had my Telecaster. So I was like, "No, I want it and stuff, and I would love to have it, but I don't have the money and stuff." But and he told me the situation, he was like, "Hey, I want to actually give it to my son and stuff. If you want to buy it and stuff like that, I'm not gonna hold you. Of course you can have it and stuff, but I actually want to give this to my son for his birthday or Christmas and stuff." And I was like, "Dude, go do that."
Yes.
No, go give it to him. I have all of these guitars. Go give him that. And stuff. And that's what he ended up doing. And I was like, yes.
Yeah, Sandra. I thought that's where I first became aware of Sandra, was modding for Robert back in the day. That's right. Oh. Yes. And then when we used to do the Sunday night hang that would go long, it was always 11:05 p.m. Baker would show up in the chat. And we're
because he
jump
also
jump in.
Yeah. Because he would also he used to do those late night live streams. He was just talking about this recently on his stream, because he does early streams now. He does it 6 o'clock p.m. his time, 3 o'clock mine. So it's just like one of those things. I'm just like, oh, he talked about it. He's like, no, I'm not up anymore that time. Like, my kid's going to school now again. Like, I can't be up like that late anymore playing amps.
Well, and that was the thing, because he would be, at 11 p.m. was his practice time. He'd see I was live. He'd jump in the chat and be noodling while watching.
Right.
And we'd be like, every week, come on, jump on with us. And he's like, I'm not wearing pants. And we're like, we don't care.
Oh no, I think he did that to that community stream I came on to the first time.
He jumped on a few times. Yeah.
Because and
that was we're like, hey, look, it's Baker.
That was when we had we had so many people. We had like 6 to 7 people on that time, and I was in Vegas too.
Right.
Ugh.
I vaguely remember those.
Yeah, that was the very first time you ever had me on your channel and stuff. I was in Vegas.
That's right.
I think it's the only other time you had me on your channel other than the NAMM video.
Well, we were due. We were very due.
Well,
that's for sure.
I mean, I guess I don't know how I really got into this community. How'd I do it? You tell me.
That's a good question. I'm trying to think. Where did we meet up? We met up on a live. I want to say like Sean Pierce Johnson's live stream, or maybe it was Baker's.
Probably Baker.
Because we became aware of each other, let's say November of 2018. Because it was post NAMM that I saw you online for the first time on one of your live streams. But it was already subbed you, obviously. And vice versa, yeah. I don't remember exactly. But I remember, you were jumping in on some of my NAMM live streams and stuff because you must have been back at the hotel or what have you. But we never met up the first year. I remember us talking about it, but we didn't actually meet up that first year because NAMM is so huge. You really can't. You can either totally plan it, like meet up 2 p.m. right here, or you just randomly run into each other.
Right, and that's like really before I got really into like the guitar community that was here. Like that's like when I was like into Glenn Fricker and Tyler Larson and Robert, and like I was into all the big guys, and that's when I started finding all the smaller guys. Like, who are these guys? Like, and stuff.
Right. Yeah. Hey, Jeremy Smith in the house. Good to see you, Jeremy. I can say out of everyone in the chat tonight, Jeremy Smith, is the only one who's performed with me on stage. He came out to see me play one night, and it was his birthday. And we used to do a cover that he really liked, and I said, get up here and sing along with us. And that was doing Drowning Pool's Bodies.
Okay, yeah. Yep.
Which was a big hit. Like, the way we did it, we did a little more rock and roll. I never even heard the original version until I'd already been performing the song for a month or two. And we did a much more rock version. And he said that was a blast. Yeah, it was great. Because we all had mics. Because we were one of the few bands that every band member could sing. So,
right.
You know, it was great because we show up there like, how many mics do you need? And we're like, 4 or 5. Yeah, because the drummer, who ironically the drummer was the best singer of the band, he didn't actually sing on any of the songs. So the drummer was the only guy who didn't have a mic.
Okay. Yeah, no, that was like one of the things. My first bass player, like his dad was all in bands and stuff like that, and that's like where he got his like music stuff. And his dad would always said like, "Oh, you all should have mics, like you all should sing, like and stuff."
I learned early to give everyone a mic because if nothing else, that banter between songs.
Well, that was just when we were like 13 and stuff like that. So that's when like the big of like when there was a single vocalist, everyone else just plays music. Really?
Yeah. Fuck that. No.
Yeah. So
I learned that. See, I always learned that from Kiss.
Yeah.
I remember Kiss thing.
Yeah. The more vocals, it's a little bit more fun. A little harder for the sound engineer, but yeah.
Well, and I also learned if you're ever auditioning for a band, if there's 10 guitar players auditioning and you're the only guy that can sing backing vocals, you got the gig.
Hey, apparently that don't happen when you play bass.
Oh. Yeah, but bass you can get the job anyways because you play bass.
I thought so too. But look at me now. I'm not in the punk band.
Yep. I just made that brief carryover where I was still playing with One Day to Live, which was all original, We played in drop C, guttural vocals, screaming, kind of thing. And then I started playing on the off weekends with Smile Harder, classic rock covers, female singer in standard tuning. And here I am covering backing vocals for the growly shouter. And then with the female with the capoed standard tuning, it was like 2 octaves difference.
Well, I'm just so used to that because literally when I play all my music, I go from drop A sharp or B flat to standard 280 and stuff because I play a lot of different cover songs on
sure
when I did on the different live streams and stuff. Because that's the other thing on Twitch, you can play other people's music, but you can't expect it to just stay there.
Right.
So it's like you can, because that's the thing. It's like you can sit there and watch any of the big guys and stuff like that. Like anybody of the big musicians that are already out there have their own music and stuff. They'll play their music, but then I've seen other people just sit there and play like Battery from Metallica. Like I'm like, they're not getting copyrighted. They're still making money off of it. Like that makes no sense. Why us all over here now like having to deal with this?
Right. Right.
But yeah. But.
Yeah, Roy Batty says I lost gigs because I'm one-track minded and I can't play and sing at the same time. It started for me was just playing the music, and then when I felt the need or the want to jump in on a chorus here and there, because we already had one guitar player singing backups, and then it was 2 songs a night that became 3, and then especially if you have a couple of sips of the liquid courage, then you're singing on every song. And it got to the point where we were playing one night, we were playing Steve Earle's Copperhead Road. Okay. And
I know another problem that I had.
That's always been a favorite song of mine. And we're backing up this guy. The front man had to have the lyrics out on a music stand at all times. And during the first verse, he hit the stand and lost his lyrics. So rather than, take a lead break, or tell me to take a lead break as a second guitar player while you grab your notes, he just stopped playing. So it came around for the second verse, and I just started singing, and I'm like, fuck it, let's do it, right? And I'd sing a line, I'd look back, and Richie, best friend, he was playing bass in the band at the time. And I just started going, and it got to the point for the guitar solo, and the guitar player who dropped out, the so-called frontman of the band, he was about to take the lead break, which is normally what he would do. Yeah. And I looked at him, and I pulled off the mic, and I went, I'm taking the lead too. And I took the lead, and, did the lead break, wrapped up the song ends. And he's looking at me, just glaring at me. He goes, how, because I was hired as a rhythm player. He goes, how dare you? And I said, if you're going to bail on a fucking song like that and I got to pick up after you, I'm doing the whole fucking song. Only time I've ever seen laid in a song, played, like totally took over as frontman. And I went, all right, mental note, put that song on the list of songs Ben could be a frontman for.
Yeah, there's nothing else you can do there. That's how you just keep it going for the show. Like, it's what you have to understand as a musician or just as an entertainer, because it's also, like, being a live act, you are an entertainer. So it's just, like, you got to understand, like, you're not there for yourself. That's what practice is for. Like, you're there for yourself for practice. When you're there at the show, you're there for the people that came out there to watch you. That's even the same thing for a live sound engineer. Like, it's like I love the bands and stuff like that, but if they hate their monitor mix, but the people out in the crowd love what they're hearing, I don't give a fuck.
Exactly. Well, and that was the thing. This was one of these bands where you rehearse a song and rehearsal once, twice, and then live they'd want to do a different arrangement all of a sudden. Yeah. Like, we were literally playing on the fly at all times. So when he dropped out and basically gave up on that song and I took over, and I will say that was the last gig I believe I played with that band, because and I told him, like, I'm a laid back guy, but I'm also professional. Like, we got to have the shit in place and then we can have fun and party with it. And it was shortly after that, I'm like, nope, I'm out. And they said, why? I said, I can't rely on you. What do you mean? I said, if you drop your notes, I said, you've performed that song for 3 years. If you don't know the lyrics by now, you never will. I said, you don't see me with a lyric sheet. He says, how would you put those lyrics? I said, because the song's been on the fucking radio for 30 years.
Yeah, now that's a problem. You see, my problem with like my last band is that they were younger than me and stuff. So one, they weren't technically allowed to be playing in the bars and stuff.
Right.
That I could all play at, and I'm like, okay, but they still were. They were lying about their age to my booking agent and stuff. And my booking agent doesn't like them because my booking agent was friends with me first before I became in the band with them and stuff. So I would talk with him about the band, and when they kicked me out of the band for literally giving them their money one night when they played at my work and stuff, I walk out to give them their money and stuff, and I hear them talking to another one of the local bands that I know that I've worked for and stuff. They're like, oh yeah, we're looking for a bass player. We're a 2-piece band. And I'm like, I've been practicing with you guys for the past 2 months. What? Like, you guys told me this was your last live show that you guys were doing by yourself. Like, and that's at that point, like when I brought up that point to them that night, they were just like, yeah, we don't know. Like, if you want to be in the bit, like, yeah. And I'm just like, okay, clearly this might be an age issue. They might not like how much I like to go out when I go out to like my work or stuff. I'm sitting there and I like to have a good time. I'll have a drink and I get to party and stuff. But they're not, they're not old enough. They're not like drinking. They sat there and told me, oh, we used to do that back in our, like, I'm like, yeah, so did I. When I was 16, 15 and stuff, I did the same thing just because the area we grew up in. And I'm like, but once you turn 21 and if everything becomes legal again, you start to understand, like, do everything in moderation. But
that's right. Exactly.
Like,
yeah. Been there, done that.
And there would be a song where I had a bass solo in the beginning and stuff. And I told him, like, the very beginning, it's like just drums. And I told him, like, hey, I've actually practiced where I can take a shot. The very beginning of the drums solo is here at the beginning. And as soon as I finish the shot, I come in with the bass solo. Like,
right.
And as soon as I said that to them, they had a problem.
Yeah, like, if we went on stage at 9:30, I was there for load-in at 7. So we could be set up by 7:30, get sound check out the door by 8. So we had an hour and a half to just hang and party or whatever.
Right. Well, they also, they were like the very first opening band always of like every show. And they were like, we're done being that. And I told them, like, well, this is my work. I can tell them, like, hey, you want to start being the second act. Like, you've done so many shows. Because they did. They've already been there for like a year doing a show there and stuff multiple times per year and stuff. They're like, hey, we don't want to be the first act anymore. We have 2 albums out now. Like, we want to be a second act, like,
sure.
At least. And I was like, oh, yeah, no problem. And I told that to my booking agent. They're like, yeah, let's do it. Let's get them as a second act. We'll find someone to open up for them and stuff like that. No problem.
Sure.
So, and they did that second act gig and stuff without me and stuff. And then they sat there and kicked me out when I gave them their money. I was like, all right, this is clearly not the band for me. You guys, like, it's really, their guitar player was just, he was just too into himself and stuff. Me and the drummer and stuff, just like, I'm used to being like a bass player and stuff, so I'm like, me and the drummer always kick it off. Like, that's how it's supposed to be. Yeah, and that's how it's supposed to be. But yeah, I don't think they liked when they took me to a concert too down in San Francisco, and I got really, really drunk, and it's the only concert I've ever had to leave early.
I hear you. Oh, we got some kind words from Jeremy here. Thank you very much. One Day to Live was the band I was playing with at the time, and Jeremy was a fan before I joined, I believe, and a fan after, so he knows exactly. When we were a 5-man show, the whole package from a fan standpoint was great. Once you left, there was a lot of blank points.
Yeah.
And I will say, not to rub it in with those guys, but after I left the band, Alex, we did a show together 2 years later. They didn't play a single song I hadn't performed with them in 2 years. And this is an original band, not a cover band, an original band. And they also had basically 90% of the same gear, whereas I had all new gear. Why? I joined a cover band and started getting paid, a lot more.
That was my thing. Is like I had all, and that was my thing about when I joined this bass gig and stuff. It was more of like I just moved back up to my area and stuff, and I was just more looking for a music gig in general and stuff. I really wasn't like, I was just like, hey, I want to get back into playing live music and stuff like that. And that was all. This is all before all the pandemic and stuff like that. So I didn't have to worry about that kind of stuff. And I'm doing all this kind of stuff. And I'm like, all right, well, it's a little bit easier to find a bass gig, honestly. And I played bass for 4 years for my school jazz band. So I can read jazz. I can read music. I can for bass all day long. But when it comes to guitar, it's like I have all this now. Now I have all this new gear, all this new guitars. And like I have more guitars than I have a single bass and a single bass amp.
Right.
And it's not like the best bass amp. It's only like a little 110 watt PV Max. Like, I don't even think it's 110 watts. I think it's like a 75 watt solid state. It's the PV 110 Max solid state amp for bass, which is like a little 1x12 little cab.
Sure.
But it sounds great. Honestly, it sounded really great with our punk band stuff. We really actually enjoyed it, but there was just something weird. It was just the guitar player didn't like me, and the drummer, he's the one that's been like made the band with the band, and I've definitely been like that person that's like, we don't like this new guy. We started this band. Let's not do with him and find someone new and stuff.
Sure.
But then it's like after that, I haven't seen anything from them. Like.
Exactly. Well, I was saying, the band, after I left them, they did a handful of shows for whatever, whatever that was, but they've done nothing since then. And
and it's basically every band I've left except for one. Like I left the one band I left when I was in San Francisco. We left on such good terms. I'm still really good friends with. We ended up going to a concert a year after like I left. I only had to leave them just because I moved so much farther away. I was like, hey, I can't take a 4-hour ride down out here. That's too hard for me and stuff. But
yeah, go ahead.
Oh yeah, but like we met up at the concert and stuff like that, and that's like the only event. But then the first band and stuff, like we all left actually on bad terms. But now I'm friends with my old guitar players and stuff like that, so that's no problem. But my bass player, I don't do well with bass players in any of my bands apparently, unless I'm the bass player.
That's one thing I've always maintained good relations with former bandmates, and I was thinking after I left One Day to Live, I think it was a couple months later. We're hanging out at Sticks and Stones, which is our local venue, my favorite bar to play in. I'm hanging out in there one night, and we had another local band playing. And in between sets, we were asked to get up and play a song. So, because it was like the singer of the band was there, the drummer was there, and I was there. And the band that was performing that night, the one guy filled in on bass. And so we got up and we played a couple of songs just as a 4-piece.
Nice.
And the crowd kind of liked that because they're just like, holy shit, like half of One Day to Live is here. And I'm like, I'm not with them anymore. But we stayed because it's a small area. Why burn bridges? Plus they owe me money, so they have to be nice to me. So still haven't paid me back.
That was like my thing with my very first band. I didn't want to burn bridges with them. It was just more of a thing of just what happened with. It wasn't even with the guys and stuff like that. It was due to a girl it was due to my friend's ex and stuff like that he had a kid.
That happens.
And stuff. So that was like the thing. It was he was dealing with a pregnant girl and stuff like that when we were in the band, and she had like just had the kid right when we were ending and stuff. So.
I can relate because one of the reasons I left my band was the bass player. He'd rather spend time with my ex-girlfriend than me.
No, jeez.
So I was like, that's rather obvious, and I'm like, okay.
His was he was dating her the whole time we were in the band, and then it was after I left and like a year after they broke up and stuff. So
okay,
okay.
Yeah, for me it was. But, you get told by a bandmate, well, it's only coffee. And I'm like, I don't give a flying fuck. So as soon as the bass player said one thing negative about me, I said, fuck all of you. I'm quitting. Actually, I know I said, because I wanted to leave the band anyway. So I saw it as an excuse to leave. And I put the ultimatum. I said, it's either him or me. And let's be honest, it's a lot easier to replace a second guitar player if you want one than it is to replace a bass player. So we got to stick with the bass player. And I'm like, perfect. Because now I'm out of the whole fucking band.
Yeah, that might have been a reason why the last band I was in didn't like me. I might have been like, because how I didn't know, like I met them outside of it, but I ended up knowing the drummer's cousin. Like me and them have gone to school together since freshman year of high school. And there was that day that I gave him their money and stuff. Me and his cousin were macking on each other a little bit, just like very. We were never like dating or together. It was just more of just like drunk together people. Like, we got drunk together, kissing each other. That was about it.
There we go.
So,
Jeremy, from being outside the band and just a local guy who's a huge fan of live music, he kind of put it in perspective about that. This is literally, he's just like, basically once I left, they were done. And that's true. They wouldn't have had the last album if it wasn't for me. Not that I'm going on that rant, but they wouldn't have got half the shit done had I not joined that band.
If I wasn't even part of my very first band, they would have never even been a band and stuff. Like it's, like before we had our first drummer, we'd always go practice at his house. But if we couldn't practice at his house because he wasn't available and stuff, we'd bring all the guitar and bass players to my house and stuff.
Sure.
And then once our first drummer after our first gig literally disappeared. He just dropped off the face of the earth. We never got a hold of him. He just disappeared. He ended up talking to me a year or two later, talking about like what happened and stuff. And I was like, okay, I get you now and stuff. Like, no worries. But it was like at the time, like we ended up going 3 months without a drummer and stuff like that. So we had 2 guitars and a bass. And I was like, well, it's easier to find a guitar player around than it is a drummer. And I'm in drumming, doing marching band drumming and stuff like that in school. So screw it. My friend has a kit. Let me go borrow that. And I know how to play a simple rock beat. We can do this and stuff. So that's when we became like a simple rock band and cover band more. But it was like a thing. Then we brought in our other guitar player, and that's the two, like I now know my 2 guitar players over my bass player and stuff. Because my guitar player ended up having a kid and stuff like that, and then it was because of his girl he was with and stuff. That was really the big problem. Even though now we all talk and stuff, and now we're all okay and stuff. And then it was just my other guitar player was just more friends with the other guitar player, so he was just following along him and stuff.
Sure.
Which is what my bass player did with me and stuff when we all split and stuff.
Right.
And then I only split just because my bass player was just one of my really good friends. Me and him just had a falling out of just me and him, so that was the only reason why like we don't talk. But like me and the bass player split and then him split, but the bass, like I moved away from everyone to San Francisco, so I was like, hey, like we were supposed to play like a last show at the fair and stuff, our county fair and stuff, and like we broke up 2 weeks before that and stuff, and it was like, guys, we were supposed to do this. But I met up with both of the guitar players. I met up with everyone ever since and stuff like that. It's only recent stuff with the bass player, really.
Right.
But the 2 guitar players, I still talk to them, but they both have kids now. They're doing their own family lives and stuff. And I'm like, all right, I'm not here to like bother you guys and stuff.
That's true. All right. Do we have anything else in here, folks? We'll probably be wrapping it up here momentarily. Yeah.
Looking at Larry bass yesterday.
And I will say, yes, I do remember we did fire a drummer in a band after 1 gig, after rehearsing with him for 2 months. After the first gig, he's like, you probably shouldn't book anything too much. I'm going to put my house up on Airbnb for the next couple of months, so I won't be around. And he told me that at the beginning of summer, and I went, summer's a busy time. See ya.
Yeah, See, that was my thing. Like, I practiced with this punk band for 2 months, and then they wouldn't even give me 1 live show. I was like, come on. So there we go. So let's see. We got any other questions in here? We still got 26 people. We're falling by the minute here, so we should probably wrap things up. Joe's about ready to go. That's fine. How about we do that? So let's say anything to add to this wonderful conversation, Alex, before you're invited back very soon. Follow Ben on everything he has and stuff, and I got to get you on like some sort of backing track of mine that I need to start doing again and stuff. So.
I would be more than happy to try doing that. I'm not quite set up for that, but that gives me... Actually, you know what? I don't know if Adam Finkel here is still in the chat, but he had a new interface for the old computer here for the guitar that he was going to give me. That's why I was going to give him a free setup on his guitar. That's where I was trying to think, why am I doing a free setup on Adam's guitar? So We definitely have to do that. Definitely check out Alex's channel. Link down below. I can also
just give you like, the beats per minute and stuff, and you can just send me a solo over for it too.
Well, that's an option. And I got the Stomp there, and it's got all kinds of that high gain chicanery, so I can pretty much cover any genre that's needed.
Oh yeah, and then that's the thing. It's the beauty of my channel. I'm all over the place.
Yeah, and you say, yeah, it's 120 BPM. I'm like, you know what? You're going to double up my solo because I recorded it at 60.
Perfect. Well, that's the thing. The lovely thing about metal or something like that, you can always do halftime.
That's right. You do it halftime and then pitch shifting, correcting.
Perfect.
Keeps you in key. Oh, yes, folks. There's lots of cool... That's right. And yes, Terry, it's always awesome having Alex on. I fully agree. I didn't realize it's been how long it is. But then again, based on certain lifestyle choices, you can lose a year or two in there. That happens. So definitely, it's been too long. I think we'll do a NAMM reunion type thing. Maybe we'll, you know what? In case he's lurking and watching on replay, China Mike, you're invited too. So we'll just put that out there. But we'll figure out Sunday. Let's just look here, off the top, because as I ramble and we're drawing this out for a few more minutes, let's go to January. I'm thinking Sunday, January 24th might be the date, because that seems right around NAMM week.
Let's see. Let me go 21, 24th. Yep. I don't have anyone scheduled for that day, so and then also all my stuff always happens before you, so. And then you're scheduled to come back on my channel on the 12th.
Yes, the 12th of January, right?
Yes. Yep. It's a Tuesday because I know you do your Sunday show. So
was that a Tuesday?
Yep, it's Tuesday.
Cool. We don't have a time on that. We don't worry about times and stuff, folks. But just so you know,
I mean, I do 3 p.m. Pacific time, usually my time, but it's
there we are. So that works, sure. I can eat dinner and be full and then do this. I like that idea. So there we are. Mm-hmm. Everyone should check that out. Everyone subscribe to Alex. Link down below.
Should already be on my channel.
Live streams all the time. Sometimes he's hanging with Garguts. Other times it might just be him. I don't know. I'm not going to give that away. You just need to tune in and find out, folks. I'm just saying. So there we go. Let's see. What do we got going on? Tomorrow night? Yeah, sure. In about 21 hours, we're going to do Canucks with Guitars featuring myself and Bent Tom, who has been really quiet in the chat for the last hour and a half, 2 hours. We're not sure if he's still around. That's okay. We don't know because there's only 25 people watching. I think a lot of people have just quietly gone off for the night. And that's okay because I wouldn't listen
3
to
hours.
But, you folks will. What else we got going on? I'm going to try to do a guitar pick demo this week on these Master 8 picks out of Japan. Okay. And then I'm also going to do a video on replacing the knobs on my HX Stomp. Because I got those cool green knobs from Tesi Switch.
Ooh.
And, I should have mentioned it because nobody watches the full 3 hours, but I'll try to remember again during the Canucks show. If you're a channel member, I can't just post members-only videos, so you got to look at the bloody community tab. Whenever I post out a members-only video, it's there. What's a members-only video? Really, it's just set to unlisted, which means I can share it, not advertised.
But if you're a member, you do get a notification.
Oh, sweet.
Because I'm a member. So
right. Well, good to see. I didn't know that. Yeah, because I set the community post to just the members.
Yeah, that's so you get so what you do is you get a notification of the community post.
Perfect. And that's if you got the bell rung down there, folks. So
yep.
Ring the bell, click the join button. $2 a month. That's less than a Starbucks coffee, and you feed a struggling musician. Let's go with that.
There you go.
I need Sally Struthers to do a commercial for me.
Maybe.
Yeah, that's right. Tesi, Tesi, Deja Blue. Apparently Brad did it, and he's plugging it right there. That's awesome.
From MC said, great show. in the background.
I don't have a guest for next week, but I see Brad Miller right there. Brad Miller, do you want to be next week's guest? See how that works, Alex? I just throw it out there. Week to week.
Sounds like just how last week worked.
That's exactly how last week. Brad Miller, do you want to be next week's guest? Let's see if he says yes or no, and then we can wrap up the show. He was probably going to say, fuck you, Ben, but that's okay. He's allowed because he's a channel member or a patron or something. I don't know what you know what it is? He supplies me with strings. I haven't bought
He does more. He does everything.
In a year and a half. Brad, every once in a while, just randomly sends me. He knows when I'm getting down. I think he's peaking.
He's a moderator, by the way.
He is a moderator, sure. Who isn't a moderator on this channel, it seems? Jesus, fuck.
Come on down, Deja Blue says. Come on down to the Ben Coombs show. You can be a guest on his show next Sunday night. Brad Miller, we're calling you out right now.
Yeah, Brad Miller, come on down. Maybe, maybe not. He's thinking about it. He's debating it.
Thinking. He's like, do I have time?
See, he literally just said, yep, there we are. Thinking,
let you know
tomorrow. Perfect. So tune in next Sunday, folks. If you haven't already, please subscribe, ring the bell. You can join if you want. We mentioned that. We got the Canucks show tomorrow night, me and Bent Tom. We might even have a topic to discuss. Highly doubt it. I'm going to shoot some demos and videos this week because I haven't done that in a while, and that'd be nice. Islander Winder. Good to see you. Alex, do you have an OnlyFans account? Deja Blue asks.
Not like a public one.
Not yet. Not yet.
No, I got to find a partner to join in on it.
I recommend a female partner for the OnlyFans. I'm just saying, although whatever floats your boat, folks. So thank you, Brad. You see, Brad's making it up. He's like, I can't commit, but use the Tesi Switch and get your custom knobs. Which I mentioned it in the video. I don't know if Brad saw it or not, but I mentioned Brad in that unboxing video because I'm pretty sure Brad Miller is responsible for me getting those Tesi knobs. I'm just saying.
Probably.
I think it was Brad. I'm looking at him. So there we are. Until next time, I'm Ben. He's Alex. Hold those doors open. Let that guy ahead of you in traffic. Do good things, and good things will happen to you. Doug's wife is real. Be good to each other. Rock on. If it ain't tube, it ain't worth using. Sure. And check out a Vola guitar because Alex and me both like them. I was offered a Vola to check out, but I declined. And I'll only say that because
I know.
Well, I didn't get to keep it, and I would have had to pay to send it back, and I didn't.
Okay.
But Volas are cool. So until next time, cheers, rock on. Is Doug real? Where's he been? Doug, he's in the midst of an international cornhole tournament this weekend. He beat the guy from Argentina. Now he's got to face an American, and he's a little scared. So that's all I know about that. Yeah. Oh, and sure, let's say Wednesday as well, NAS Canucks podcast, because why not? If you're a NASCAR fan and you like me and Doug burning each other on a minutely basis. Minutely? Sure, that's a word. Watch that as well, because we have 46 subs, and we had 5 viewers last week, and they all played guitar somehow. I don't know. So there we go. Cheers. Rock on. Be good to each other and all that. Alex says goodbye. I'm just going to keep